Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laurel Shimayo. This is our MeWe Awakening panel for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest starting again in November, and we have lots of events online. We have fairs, panels on specific topics. We have training panels encouraging new practitioners to jump in and learn to share on the stage. We have practice circles and learning circles where people get to practice modalities they're learning, where they get to learn new modalities and learn to open their intuition, all kinds of different events. So today is our awakening panel. We have 7 of us here on the panel, technically really 6 practitioners that specialize in tarot. And we're going to have everyone share about themselves, what they do, and share about all your modalities when you share about yourself. If you want, you can show decks, etc. It's up to you. And then we'll be answering questions from the audience. It's free to be here to listen and learn, and it's a small price to ask a question of the panel. It's 16 to 24 sliding scale. You can pay by PayPal or Venmo. I can run things on Square also, and it's $10 for BIPOC folks taking a step towards making reparations. So I'm excited to be with you all today. This is the first time we've had a panel on this theme. And I haven't seen my assistant Geo yet, but I'm imagining she's coming. She is. Oh, she's here. She's here. This is great. I think she was the prompter for having this panel on this theme. So really exciting. All right, great. Well, let's see. So let's go in the same order that we did earlier. If that works for everyone. So I think we did, let's see. We had Henry, Kendara, Audrey, Jenna, Anne, and Sue, I believe. So let's go ahead and take a good 3 minutes for your intro. If you want all that time, I will start my timer too to help us kind of stay on track. All right, great. All right. So go ahead, Henry.
All right. So I'm Henry India Holden, and I can be reached at henryindiaholden.com. And I am a tarotist. I am also a spiritual director, and I'm a certified life coach. And so it kind of all mixes together. I do, depending on what you want to work with, I will focus on one tool over another. But usually people ask me to use all of the tools, and I really love the tarot, and I'm so excited to be among other tarot readers. How very cool. So I just love that. So I have specials tonight, $30 for 30 minutes, $50 for 50 minutes. I also have a class coming up where we're going to be talking about the intuitive tarot. So there's meanings to the tarot. So I'm going to just haul right into that. There's meanings to the tarot that have been set forth starting in the 15th century with Antoine Coeur de Gébelin, a French fella who made a big splash. He was the first professional tarotist. He got paid for being a tarot reader. And he made a big splash by connecting the tarot with Egypt and with what then was called Gypsy, because Egypt, even though the Romani people are not from Egypt, they're more likely from India. So that's kind of interesting. And I would say that, if it's from India, that makes a lot of sense to me, because I really connect with the wisdom of Indian spirituality. And so the tarot, maybe it can foretell the future. What I know for sure is that it can help you figure out your future. It can help you shape your daily life, because as Joseph Campbell and Carl Jung talked about, the symbolism. Like, here's an example of a card. This is The Guy in Tarot by Joanna Paul Colbert. The symbolism of the card is powerful. We are, as human beings, primed and perhaps evolved to connect with symbols, to interpret symbols, and most of all, create them. And this is partly why the tarot is powerful and why the tarot has survived for many hundreds of years. Now, even though it officially started in the 15th century, this is not exclusively what's involved in the tarot, because the people who have picked it back up in the 18th century and 17th century, those were people who had a lot of esoteric knowledge from across the world, across the ages, and all of that the tarot became infused with that. And so the tarot is just a profound and powerful and rich medium that allows us to, as I see it, tap into our inner wisdom or divine wisdom, and specifically helps us understand who we are in the scheme of the life that we were born into and the life that we're creating. And so now I'm looking forward to hearing from the other tarot readers. Yay.
Great. Thanks so much, Henry. And just while you're sharing, should I grab your special that you had recently from something? Okay, great. I'll do that. All right, let's see. So yeah, we've got Kendara next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kendara Laurel. I am from beautiful Denver, and I'm delighted to do this. I've been doing it for about 40 years, and I love the tarot because it gives you a picture. It shows you things. You can see it right there, and it answers your questions. There's some that say the tarot started as a way of bringing the Kabbalah in a way that it was unobtrusive and kind of hidden. But there's so many different stories about it. But the tarot is just wonderful. I also do the I Ching, and I do intuitive counseling, and I teach intuitive tarot. And it's just a really good way to learn about yourself. My website is kendaralaurel.com. I also have an introduction to metaphysics meetup that meets twice a month, and as people come in and talk on everything. And I'm offering a special of readings for $1 a minute, which is about a 30% discount. And I just am excited to share with you. So I welcome the opportunity. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Kendara. All right, Audrey.
Thank you. So my name is Audrey Lee. I love tarot. I've been doing tarot since the mid-'80s. My first deck was the Rider-Waite deck, and I've always loved that. That is still my go-to deck today. So when I had that first deck of tarot, I used it for like over 30 years until it bent in the middle of the paper. So I had to retire it. And then so I got a new deck, and it seems like the spirit just transferred right over from the old deck into the new deck. So, for me, that conversation is the same. It is a very familiar conversation. So it is amazing how you can establish a relationship with your tarot cards, just like your best friend or like your cat, the best kind of relationship when you feel like talking to somebody, when you're talking to yourself but you have no answers, then you sort of lend the help from your tarot cards. So I am, of course, a tarot enthusiast. I also read other cards like oracle cards, chakra cards, messenger cards, many different things. I love to teach tarot. I have a meetup where I can teach tarot. It is called the Metaphysical Haven. If you Google it, you can probably find me. And every month we definitely have one tarot meet, like a Tarot Tuesday, and then also some other subjects like astrology and whatever else, feng shui, and so many different things. So the other day we just had a class about using the figures in the tarot cards. So some cards don't have figures in them, right? From 1 through 10, maybe some cards like the playing cards or the Crowley deck, they may not have figures in them. But the Rider-Waite deck, they definitely have people in them. So you can always use the figures, how they're facing each other, facing away. If both people are facing each other, maybe they're all into each other. Or if A is looking at B, but B is looking away, then that probably means B is rejecting A. Right? So there's so much just to read from the figures, from the people, even without knowing a traditional definition of the cards. So I find tarot to be so amusing, so interesting. I look forward to talking with you guys, and also perhaps in the future you can come and join my class. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Audrey. And then Jenna is next.
Hi, I'm Jenna Lynne Roberts with Present Path Tarot. I also do intuitive coaching, so I help you come into your own intuition. I believe that as a teacher, I believe we're all capable of reading cards for ourselves. These are a subconscious language of symbols and archetypes that are familiar to our subconscious in a way that makes it really a valuable gift in your life, even if you don't want to read in a professional way or for friends, but just for yourself. It's a gift in your life because it makes you see the world differently. What I love about reading is the same thing I love about writing. When I'm really writing, which I'm also writing a book about how to read the cards, hopefully to come out in 2022. When I'm writing, I see the world through this lens of writing. And when I'm reading cards, I see the world through that lens. It gives me more objective understanding of what's happening. It helps me forgive people easier when they're making me mad because I'm like, oh, they're just in their shadow right now. And it helps me to evolve more effectively. One thing I always tell people when it's their first reading is I say, the movies have given you the wrong impression. The movies have given you the wrong impression. They are not about what you, I just noticed that the screen isn't on me, Laurel. I just want to let you know that.
You should be spotlighted, so it should be able, it
Okay.
should show you.
Okay, good. Just so you know, it was popping. The yellow thing was popping around. It was making me nervous.
I see you clearly.
Okay, great. Thank you. So when the first time someone gets a reading, I say, look, it's not like the movies. I'm not going to tell you some horrible future you have no control over. They use that as a movie thing because it's an easy plot device for foreshadowing for the hero. But the hero's story is in Tarot. The purpose of Tarot is not to tell you what your absolute future is, but to help you guide and direct and get on the trajectory towards your best future. And when you have the gift of reading for yourself and others, it makes it so much easier to make easier, better choices that align with your higher self and your higher spirit. And the last thing I want to say about Tarot is when you're getting a reading, you are hearing a reflection of your higher self. And the parts of your mind that are like, I already knew that information, is because you have this gift within you. And a Tarot reading aligns you with your knowledge of what your best path forward is. So use that to your advantage and listen to the parts of your mind, the channels of your mind that are giving you the best information possible. So I thank you all for being here tonight. I'm going to be teaching a class in October, starting, well, it's October now, starting October 19th on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 p.m. So 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I already have 10 students in the class and it's filling up, and I hope you'll join us. If you have 2 people joining, I have a special of 10% off that I can give you if you message me on here. And I have a 10% off reading special through Mercury retrograde, any Mercury retrograde. I always do a 10% off special with Retro 2021 on my site, presentpathtarot.com. So I hope you'll join my class and I hope you'll have a great time tonight. Thanks for listening.
Thanks so much, Jenna. And I don't know what is happening with where we're not all showing on screen. It's very surprising. Let me go ahead and I'm going to remove all spotlights and then let's put us back up here again and see if that shifts things. For
Yeah, thanks.
people.
While I was speaking, it kept bumping around and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Mercury retrograde.
Definitely some strangeness there. Yeah.
I'll also mention while you're doing that, that I also have a YouTube channel at Present Path Tarot where I give a lot of Tarot lessons, and there's a whole playlist of Tarot lessons. So come check that out too.
All right, great. Hopefully that looks better on everyone's screens. Okay, you've all moved around and I think that Anne is next and then Sue. Go ahead, Anne.
Okay, hi. First, I just want to say it is such an honor to be here with so many amazing readers, and thank you, Laureli, for organizing this. I'm really excited. A little bit about me. I started reading in 1999 professionally back in Connecticut. I have been using the same Aquarian deck since then. And I have a lot of other decks, but this is always the one I go back to. Although when I teach workshops, I always use the Rider-Waite because that is the one that most of our decks today are based on. My mission and my intention in readings is always to assist with healing and empowerment and unlearning our conditioning that may be blocking us from having the lives that we want. And I am here to help. So please feel free to contact me. My website is priestessbling.com. And I do readings ranging from $25 to $100. And I can do events and workshops as well. So thanks, everyone.
That's great. You've got more time. If there's anything else you want to share about what you do or which decks you use, you shared a little bit of just, if you want more time, I just want you to, it's great. Okay, cool.
Thank you. No, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, Sue.
You know the drill. You don't gotta go home.
Oh,
But you
sorry. Every once in a while we have things happen. So one moment. So I don't know if that was a Zoom bomb or not, but every once in a while we do have that happen. So, and it looks like the person has left maybe. So, okay, good. That was easy if that's what that happened. So thanks so much, everyone. Let me fix it so you can unmute yourselves again. All right, you should be
All
able to
right,
unmute
I'm
yourself.
unmuted.
All right, go
Once
ahead,
upon a
start over.
time-
Yeah.
Okay, the Deadpan Comics, Stephen Wright said, I played poker last night with tarot cards. I got a full house and 3 people died. Okay, and that's kind of like what we used to face. I'm hoping that everybody's a little bit more in tune and open at this point. They are not, as was stated before, evil. They don't come from the devil. They are archetypes. Each card is an archetype. I have a book, Tarot for All Time, that I wrote, that's available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. But what happens is that everything is energy and we are vibrational beings. So when you choose cards, you're choosing what is matching the vibration that you're putting out there. And so certain cards will show up for you. Even if we do a series of readings and I shuffle them really well, you might get some cards over and over again because that's what's speaking to you. And it's speaking to you in order for you to develop your own intuition. They told me a long time ago that we create our own reality. And even though I asked to plead insanity, if that was true, because I must have been out of my mind to ask for this, okay? I have to this day seen images of the cards when things happen in reality because it mirrors what's going on. It mirrors where these archetypes are coming in, where they're being attracted, and the archetypes themselves are changing and growing and finding their own unique expression. So I'm real happy to be here and hoping I can help somebody and have a good time doing it.
Great, thanks so much, Sue. And I think it's Anne and Sue, this is their first time being on our online panel, so welcome. All right, well, so I'm Laurel Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader and a body psychology coach, and you can learn tons about me, and I have a special today too, but I don't focus on tarot, so it's really all about these 6 great women. And non-binary people. Yeah, great. And yeah, so excited to, just to do all this together. Does anyone want to share anything else about tarot? Any of the other practitioners? Just before we jump in, any context about tarot or anything that no one shared that you'd love to share here just as a holding the space in the context. Go ahead, Sue.
Well, these were the forerunners of the playing cards that we use today. Okay, and there are 2 groups within the tarot. There's the minor arcana, which are the 4 suits, so that cups became hearts, okay? Spades became swords, pentacles became diamonds, and wands became clubs. The only one that made it from the 22 cards that are above the 4 in the major arcana was the Joker. That's the Fool. So the Fool came over as the Joker, but those are playing cards that we use nowadays. So if you learn how to read tarot cards, you can read playing cards too.
Great, great. All right, I just put information on all the practitioners in the chat too. And I just, I don't have, if you want to send me a special, I'm sorry, I've lost it in all the different things. I'm going to send it to me again in chat. Anne and Kendara and Sue, if you want to have a special, just let me know. And we'll get it in all the information I'm posting. All right, we've got 2 people in line already. And We never know how many questions we're going to have. So we're going to start off aiming for each of you to not share more than 3 minutes when we're answering questions, so that we can probably fit in a good 5 or 6 questions if we have those. All right, great. Well, let's see, we've got, oh, and before we start, the fog is coming in. And so the tops of the trees, I can see all out my window, and I can see the fog blowing in. It's great. So before we start, just a few things about the container. So we believe that everyone's intuitive. And so all of you in the audience may have messages come in as people are asking questions. You might want to have something to write those messages down. They're often fleeting. It's a great opportunity to practice opening to your intuition and to see if what comes through for you is similar to what comes through for the practitioners on the panel. You might have other things come through you that are valid, and we just happen to not share them. We request that you allow the attention to stay up on the panel when we're answering someone's question. So please hold whatever does come through for you. If you want, after we're done answering someone's question, you can write them privately in chat and see if they'd like to hear what came through for you. Please ask first, and please honor whatever they share. They might feel full after they've heard all of our answers. Yeah, and then go ahead and share them if they say yes. Also, when you ask a question of the panel, you ask a question on the panel, we may go deeper than you intend us to go, or we may talk about other topics that you don't want us sharing about here in this public format where it's recorded and will be online. That's fine. Please tell us ahead of time if you want us to stay in a particular lane. And if we wander outside of where you want us sharing, please interrupt us, jump in and let us know. We're here to honor you. Yeah, those are the big things. And I think then we're ready to get started. So currently we have Dee and Liza in line. Henry, something else you want to share? Oh yeah, if anyone can share anything about tarot too, I just launched into all that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick that I'm creating a circle of protection around all of us. That includes me and the panelists and all the guests tonight. And the only things that can be present in this circle are those things that serve our highest good in a way that is easily and readily recognizable to us. And anything that is right now still in this space that is not here to serve our highest good, you are commanded to leave now. And this is so in my name and through my presence and my power. And this is so in the name and through the presence and the power of this dear, sweet God who revealed himself to me. And this is so in the name and through the presence and the power of love. And so it is.
Thank you, Henry. All right, let's see. So Dee, you are first, I think. I remember if you want to go up on, come up on the spotlight or not.
What?
Oh, there you are. Okay. Do you want to be on spotlight or do you want to have your video off?
My video is off.
Okay, great. All right. Well, so what is your question today?
So I'm in this process of potentially selling my house. And I was just thinking like, oh, wow, now's the time to start getting moving on this. And then an offer came, a private offer came on Wednesday, and they were like, we need to know by Monday. And there's another deadline, like you have to be out November 23rd. Like this is part of that deal. And, I had to do a bunch of research, like to figure out, look at comparables in my area. And I figured out that their offer was fair. It's not like, above or below, it's right at what's to be expected right now. It's also an acquaintance of my father, and so they knew my family, and or my parents, and it's the good about it is that all I have to do is pack up my stuff. I could even leave stuff behind, and then there's lots of other stuff that I have to do with any other sale. I guess inspections and this and that. But I don't have to like clean up the house or fix it up or anything. I could just pack up my stuff and go. That's not actually so easy though. I have my stuff and my parents' stuff to go through. I still have a lot to go through, although I've gone through a lot already. And I wasn't planning on having it be this fast. When I feel into it, I feel overwhelmed and I cried. I had a good cry about it. There's this part of me that's like, no. And I don't know. I'm not clear on whether that's my inner guidance just saying no, or if it's just my fears that I don't do well with the deadline with some sort of thing. I don't like the feeling of you have to get out of this house that meant so much to you by November 23rd, even though I could probably do it. It is a doable timeline. It doesn't feel good to me to have a deadline. I'd rather just kick ass and get all my stuff together and then put the house on the market, or, try to sell it. And I'll feel more clear. Like, I'll feel like, oh, I got that out of the way. Now I can handle these other things. I feel like there's a lot of responsibilities. I have a lot on my shoulders already. I feel like, I just feel like it's too much on my shoulders. And, I don't have family here helping me. I don't have a partner helping me. I can hire help. And I wonder if this is a lack of vision on my part. Like, I'm not, I have the resources to hire people that I need. It's just that I'm ultimately responsible for everything. And I don't know if this is a lack of vision because things have gone slowly over the last year and a half. I've had to do everything myself. I haven't found enough help. I'm just starting to get help. I just hired a helper. And it feels overwhelming. It feels like I feel like inside of myself a big no, but then I feel inside of myself a yes as well. It's like, oh, I'll be done with this. It's actually less work. In the long run, there's just this deadline, like deciding by tomorrow and then having a deadline in November. And then I still haven't found a place where I'm going to, although that will unfold, I trust. But the kicker here is it's Mercury retrograde. And I guess I have a mental block of like, it's not good to sell a house during Mercury retrograde. Although it really, truly, it's not impossible. It's doable. You can sell a house during Mercury retrograde if you read the fine print, etc. But for some reason, I just feel like, I shouldn't be doing this right now.
Can I jump in one thing and just share a little bit of so many of the panelists weren't here when you shared just a little while ago. And that was when you first knew that someone was interested, but you didn't know what the offer was going to be and if it was reasonable. Yeah. So your context has changed so much here over the last just week and a half, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it turns out it's a reasonable offer and you're actually considering. Sounds like, right? You have to decide by tomorrow. That's what you said?
Yeah, and I don't like that either. Decide by tomorrow and be out by November 23rd. I just don't like that.
But can I say just too practically?
Yeah.
You can always counter with a slightly different something and delay for an extra day. Like you can always do that. But all right, go ahead. What else do you want to share about your question? And then I want to dive in and get you some answers.
Okay. I guess I'm narrowing it down to the no inside of me. What is it? Is it my inner guidance saying this is not right? Or is it just my fears? Is it a lack of vision of seeing that I can do this and that it can be easy? Or is this just like, no, this is not the right time. You really need to spend an extra winter here. You really need more time. Is it like my life is waiting for me somewhere, or is it like take it easy so you don't freak out? Just take it calm and easy and just let the perfect thing come in the perfect timing, or is this the perfect timing?
And I was saying I probably didn't track the first few sentences properly, that you can always counter with a different date. There's probably no reason why they absolutely have to have it on that date, right?
There is. There's a timing involved, and they have to be out by November 23rd because the house that they're renting is that's when that person said they have to be out. Okay. I mean, maybe I can negotiate, hey, I'll pay for your motel room for however long, maybe I can soften that deadline a little bit so it doesn't feel so harsh. So it doesn't feel like, oh, if I don't do it, I'm in big trouble. I broke the contract, and then tomorrow they have to start getting an inspector going. They have to get going on this really soon, because if this is not going to work out based on the VA loan and the inspector, then they have to move forward on the other opportunity.
It's great. Well, I think our practitioners have enough. They probably don't need some of those details. So is it all right if we jump in and get you some answers?
Go for it. Thank you.
All right, great. So we've got Henry and then Anne. Go ahead, Henry. And I'm going to start my timer too. All right. Support you all with timing. So if you're like right in the middle of something at the end of 3 minutes, you can take a few more seconds and finish things up. Just want to encourage us all to keep going. Right, Henry, go ahead.
All right. I'm starting my timer too. Okay, great. So D, is it?
Yes. That's
Hi.
not my name, but that's just my anonymous name because
That's totally fine. Hi, D. D
Hi.
is as good as any other letter in the alphabet. So the cards that I pulled, I will share them with you. I do the intuitive tarot like many here. So so sometimes you don't need to share the cards, but I wanted to share them with you because this is a Gaian tarot and I really like how she does it. So this is the teacher. This is in a regular Wade Smith deck, which is the same as the as the Rider-Waite, but I'm one of those people, I say Waite Smith because it honors Pamela Smith, who painted all the Waite Smith cards, and Rider is just a publisher. So I don't see why he needs to have his name out front. And so here we have what is equivalent to the Hierophant. Well, somewhat. This is a neo-pagan kind of deck. And then I was like, okay, well, it doesn't tell me enough. And then you were talking about how you just, it was like so fast and so shocking. And the word that came through, so I feel divinely guided when I do this. And until I got into the tarot, this was difficult for me because like, are these my own thoughts or not? But the tarot is really, really helpful in being a sort of a mitigating medium when you want to be sure that it's not your ego talking. And so I pulled another card and I got lightning. Because the divine guidance that I got was flood, flood, flood. And for me, flood has a very specific connotation. So flood is when everything is starting to happen. So we put in effort, 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 effort. And then usually what happens if you put in effort until you reach critical mass, you end up with flood. And then a lot of times we're so in the space of effort that when flood comes, we're not prepared for it. And so I think that that's what's going on with you. That's just sort of the hit that I'm getting. And I'm looking forward to hearing what the other readers here have to say. So this being comparable to the tower, this upheaval. So I would say that this card for certainly confirms what you're experiencing, because you kept kind of questioning whether what you're experiencing is legitimate or not. And I think there's a difference between honoring and holding legitimate what we're feeling or saying it means no.
What do you mean?
Well, that's a great question. So because you're experiencing this upheaval and this sort of almost like an emergency, where somebody else maybe who had been prepared for an offer would go, hallelujah, yay, I finally got my offer. For you, it feels more like an emergency. Well, okay, my time is just about up. It's up. So
No, you can finish your sentence, please.
Okay. So when you have that sense of emergency, that doesn't necessarily mean no, I shouldn't be doing this. Because that's your big question. Does this mean I should not go for it, or does it mean I'm just freaking out? And I would say that this card kind of addresses the psychology of your experience. And then the following card, justice, which is so much to me about the literal balance. So you're out of balance. You've kind of been knocked off your feet by this offer, but I don't see anything here in the cards that are saying don't take this offer. Nothing whatsoever. Maybe somebody else has that, but I'm not getting it at all. What I'm getting is for you to maintain, because you're dealing with flood and it can like take you away. So I think what there's for you to do is ground and breathe and just do practices. Like I'm sure you have some practices that allow you to bring you present so that you can ride the wave instead of being drowned by it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Henry. All right, we've got Anne and then Audrey and then Jenna and Sue. I didn't know if you know how to raise your hand in Zoom. So I want to show you. So in the reactions at the bottom of your screen, that's where it might be. If you hover over or click reactions, there are 2 rows of symbols and then the bottom is raise hand. Okay, great, cool. Great. And I'll put it down, everyone, when after you answer. All right, we've got Anne, Audrey, Jenna, Kendara, and then Sue. Go ahead, Anne.
Okay, thank you. So I'm really excited because I pulled 3 cards. I actually didn't pull them. I started to shuffle and 3 cards literally fell out of my deck. And the first was the 4 of Swords. And I read these as past, present, future. So you're coming from a place of not necessarily stuck thinking, but I interpret this as having a rigid mindset or having a clear idea of how things should be. You can also interpret this card as a time of mental stasis, or sort of a time of resting the mind. This is the past. The present is the Tower card, which I definitely associate with your Lightning card, Henry. And then the next card I got was also Justice. So the Tower, right? I know, it's amazing. So the Tower is, to me, a moment where our illusions come down, where we are called to release our attachments to how things should be or how things are, and review and reconsider. And this is so perfect for Mercury retrograde. Reconsider our concept of reality and how things should be. It also is a moment where we may be experiencing unforeseen change, or a drastic, total, complete, unexpected change of some kind. So this may represent a change in your concept for how the sale of this house should be going. And then to look at the Justice card, I interpret that as, yes, you may be off balance, or things may feel unbalanced right now, certainly. But I also look at this card as being about universal balance, or the pendulum swinging to where it needs to be, or us experiencing settling or calming down after a period of an extreme fight or stress. And the hit I got about this is that you can anticipate a just and fair transaction if you go through with this deal that you were offered. That is the intuitive hit that I'm getting looking at the Justice card. And that really, like Henry said, practicing your breathing or your meditation or whatever you have to help ground yourself and be in your body can really help you easily release attachments to how things are. And the first thing I thought when you were describing your task at hand is get the help, get all the help you can. Hire the help, hire movers, hire helpers, keep working with your assistant or whoever that person is you hired, and just use your resources to make this job as easy as possible, because this is an emotional task that you have. I can't imagine something more emotional. And letting other people do the hard work, do the leg work, I think is a very wise choice right now. So there's my take on it.
Great, thanks so much, Anne. All right, Audrey is next.
Thank you. Okay, so I draw a few cards for you. First of all, I want to say that these buyers, they're the Queen of Pentacles, and they're really, so anxious to offer money. They want to buy your place. They want to give you their money. And when they consider your house with other people's other choices, your house is the king, the emperor. So they are really looking forward to start a life, to have a good house, or that they are envisioning their future in this house. So I feel that their intentions are very legit, or very proper, or that they are a good takeover people. Now, asking, you were saying that you're wondering if you're reflecting the energy of the house, right? And then so I drew a few more cards. So it says that the house is kind of feeling indecisive right now, or that the presence of the house, the spirit of the house may feel like the hangman. Like, oh, I don't know if I want to change parents, or I don't know if I want you to leave, or. And so I asked the house, what is it that would tip the scale? What is it that you want? If, whatever that would make you happier. So we have the Hermit. So again, I think the house is not sure. They just want to have peaceful life. They don't want some kind of a, crazy family with the 5 kids to come in and run around, break all the stuff. And, so I think the house just wants to be peaceful and have the life of its, of its norm. So finally, my question about you, what you're feeling going through this ordeal is that you are the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles has this, it's telling me, it's giving me the meaning that you're just you're caught scrambling. Like, oh, if I had, if I had so much extra resources or money, then I could, of course, I would just move within the time limit. But the thing is, right now, it's as if you need to gather some more resources in order to move. So of course that keeps you, that makes you feel very uncomfortable. Now, so the current situation is you are in the Nine of Cups. You're happy there. And if you move forward, moving to your next home, you're going to have a Knight of Cups, which is a very good, optimistic, beautiful future. So yeah, please be prepared to just move forward. It's going to be a good one.
Thank you. Can I ask real quick, just if there's anything that comes through that is like, oh, if I don't take this choice, some comparison. That's all. Thank you.
Well, sure. I think, of course, this Five of Pentacles card, it says that you are just a little worried that nothing will go smoothly. I think if you don't take it, you're basically prolonging that anxiety. I don't really see any other indications that, oh, you better stay, or yeah, if you wait until next year, you have a better offer. I feel that the offer that you're getting, the money amount is quite good. So
Yes.
yeah, everything looks good so far to go forward.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks so much, Audrey. We're going to have Jenna next. And I just realized I forgot to turn on the subtitles. So I'm going to turn those on, everyone. And I believe you have to approve them. So I wanted to make sure that you know, so you're not surprised. It'll take a minute or two for them to come up. I just wanted to make sure you know what's going on. All right. Jenna. No, wait.
Hi there. So I just pulled cards for you as you asked that last question. So the first thing I got was the Hermit Reverse, which kind of threw me off, but I would say that it's like, if you don't take the offer, it seems to me with the Hermit reversed and the Two of Pentacles reversed, I kind of just feel like you're going to be stuck in another decisive moment that's going to be challenging in a different way. Like it's not the end of the world. You'll have another decision to make, but it's just going to be probably, the Hermit card feels to me like a slower card. And you're just going to have to be at another decisive point. The other thing is you're going to have to still put a huge amount of energy forward as the Queen of Wands to like make it all happen, get the house ready. It feels to me like you just have a different type of burden that would take a huge amount of energy and might take a little while. It doesn't feel like the end of the world, just a different experience. The other thing, so from the first cards I pulled for you, we got what I expect, the Nine of Wands. I think that you're probably, it's just overwhelmed. It's just, but you're not at a 10. So this card says to me that you've got your shackles up, you're kind of guarded, making sure this is a good deal. I trust that you're going to manage the contract well with them. And since it's family friends, you're going to do a good job just, advocating for yourself. But it is going to take a little bit of that warrior spirit to pull through. Then we also have the Wheel of Fortune reverse, which to me speaks of just how quickly this is happening. Fast change can feel like the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and it Mercury retrograde, it can feel dangerous. I just feel like you need to, as the solution for that, really step into your King of Pentacles. I think you know someone who's a King of Pentacles. This person is a very grounded, slow to make decision, business thinking person who knows how to be very practical in these matters. So approach the matter. I think multiple people talked about being grounded, and I'd say this is another reflection of that. Slowing down and just sensing that even though you have a fast decision to make, I like Laureli's idea as well of pausing it a day. Sitting with just your grounded sense, do a meditation, breathing into the earth, feel yourself rooted, talk to the rooted masculine energy in your life, even if it's a feminine person, talk to that person who grounds you, and sit with what you would need to do on a slow, practical level to make sure all the ducks are in a row. This does to me feel like a good opportunity, partly because you did get the Nine of Cups. It is reversed because I think right now this blessing looks like a complication and it's hard to, really sit with the gratitude of this potentially good thing. I feel good about the offer overall personally, but I really think that the main message is you need to feel good with it. And so it's most important that you ground into your own lower abdomen intuition. And that one thing I like to do with that is just meditate on my lower abdomen and feel yes, no questions coming through. And then finding that answer that feels like, think of other yes, no questions that you already know your yes, no, and then sit with your answer with this and just feel it in your lower belly. You have the best answer within you. And it's coming from a very practical, grounded, organized place.
Right, great. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Jenna. Kendara.
Hello. First card I pulled for you, and I was asking about whether or not you should do it, and I got the 6 of Wands in reverse. And anytime I see a card in reverse, to me it means you're very influenced by what other people are doing. The outside is a source, and so it is it's influencing strongly whether or not you would move. The next card I got, which is right now, is the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And again, in reverse isn't negative, it's not the opposite. It's saying in some ways you won't have to worry because the money situation will be taken care of for you. And then I got the 10 of Swords in reverse, which is you rising above the worry and the fear and the doubt. But then I asked your second part of the question, well, should you move? Should you not move? And the first card that came up was the High Priestess, which to me means you do have the answers. Trust your intuition. Either one is okay, but above all, don't be pressured into doing something that does not feel right for you. That's the thing that I'm getting from day one. In reverse, the Sun, which just means you're doubting yourself, you're feeling, well, I'm not sure, but like you were saying, you alone are unsure about what you are needing to do at this time. The last card that I get for you is the Knight of Wands. And to me, that is saying, whichever decision you make will be fine. The Knight of Wands is change. If you move, it'll be good. You'll be taken care of. If you don't move, it will take a little longer, but you'll still be taken care of. But honestly, I would say to you, trust the process. It's not a negative thing either way. So I hope that helps you a little bit. I use the Rider-Waite deck, by the way.
Yes, my intuition is, I mean, all I know is like something, I get a no from some emotional part of me. It's just like, no, I don't feel enthusiastic about this. I haven't been in action mode. I'm just starting to take action. So my intuition says it's a fair deal. It could be done, but something emotional in me, and it could be that I just need to be reassured that I can do this. But I think I've dealt with so much. My parents died, and I don't feel like I can put more on my shoulders right now, but maybe I can. Maybe it'll just happen differently than it's been happening.
I'm reminded to your cat
do it.
in the background. Kendara, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said you've got the Knight of Wands. You can do it. You're absolutely capable of doing anything that you want. The Knight is the message, and the wand is changes. So whatever you do, you'll be fine. Really.
Yeah.
We talked about your cat too last time, so it's great that your cat is meowing in the background as you're doing.
Aww.
That's great.
Yeah. What does he have to say about this move?
Exactly. Yep. All right, Sue, go ahead.
Sue, I cannot hear you.
Oh yeah, we got to unmute you.
We okay now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. First of all, what you're talking about, where you are right now, you've got split energy, lady.
Yes.
I want to, but I don't. Okay.
Yes.
And when that happens, it never feels good because you're fighting yourself. So I just said, okay, what would be most helpful for this lady to know? My personal opinion is go for it. Whenever you've got split energy, your next step is to look at your options. Always look at your options. The card I came up with was the 7 of Swords, which basically says to you, okay, You gotta prioritize. You gotta figure out what needs to be taken care of right now, what can be taken care of next, and what, even though it's by definition is part of the problem, can be ignored for right now because it can't hurt you. So my guidance or my suggestion is get clear on what it is you want to do. Look at your options. As others have told you already, delegate. Find as much help from others as you can so that you diffuse the situation, so that it is no longer overwhelming, so that you can get away with it. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, well, when you say get clear, look at my options. Yes, this is doable. It just feels like if anything goes wrong, there's just not much leeway for it.
But that's life, isn't it? I mean, there are no guarantees.
Right.
Yeah, if you put, yes, sooner or later, you will get another offer. If you do not take this one, the market is such that you will get another offer, okay? So what you need to decide is, you know, I believe in you. I think you can do it. I think you've got what it takes. And now, as I say, if you can delegate it so that it isn't all on your shoulders, because that's where, as I say, the split energy makes you start to go into victimhood, and I don't want to see you go there.
Yeah, I haven't even found a place I'm going to. I'm sure I'll find some place somewhere.
All right, so maybe that's at the top of your list. Maybe that's the first thing is, ooh, I need to find where I want to go before I can let go of this place. That sounds like a really good number one.
What if I just clean up the place as fast as I can without a deadline, and then put it on the market and then see, and then I'll have gotten most of it out of the way. I'll feel like much lighter and that there's less to do. Maybe.
That's an option, because you now know that it's sellable. You now know that there is interest. Somebody wants that house.
Yes.
And
is there any, yeah.
I don't feel like it's a right, wrong kind of thing. I feel, and also I don't believe that you just put off your life, you know, and you go hibernate until Mercury goes direct. I think that's nonsense. That's hogwash. Okay.
Right.
So, you know, figure out, you know, as I say, if you want to do it, you can do it. Lady, you sound like you're really capable and strong, and support and help and prioritize. What's the most important thing to you? Is the most important thing to you to find a new place and to sell this one, or to marinate in all of the fantastic good memories that you had there until it feels okay to bless it and let it go?
Gosh, I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like I'm being kicked out of my house if I do that.
Oh, okay. See, now just listen to what you said. Nobody's kicking you out. All right, D? You are in charge of your own life. Nobody's doing anything to you. This is an offer that's being made for you.
It's just that I haven't found a place yet. I haven't found, yeah,
Sorry.
sorry.
So as I say, that sure sounds like a real good place to start.
What did you say,
I
Lorelei?
just say Sue, yeah, if you can complete your answer soon, that would be great.
No, that's
great. And I know Henry's got a little bit more to share. Anne's got a little bit more to share, and I want to share something new. And actually, I think, Henry, if it's directly related to Sue, go ahead, but I want to jump in and share some. Okay, go ahead, Henry.
It's directly related. When you ask the question, what if I don't take this offer? Normally, if I didn't get a really clear card, I would just let it pass. But I pulled a card immediately, And what I got was the bindweed, which in the Wade Smith deck is the devil. And so
You're giving away your power.
yeah, so I feel like you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do. And this is just an advisory panel here. And I think the consensus is that you ought to go ahead, but you're not convinced. And so I think that, you listen, you can't get it wrong. Even if you make the wrong decision, even if it hurts something, even if there's harm in that, there's nothing wrong with that either, because life is the wheel. It's like up and down, up and down. You can't get it wrong, whether you get this right or not right. So what's at stake is not your life. Your life is not at stake. And even if your life were at stake, I think we have many lives. I think that we're eternal beings. So you can't ultimately get it wrong. But this card, I see this card as the card of illusion. And so why I think it came up is that when you're saying, what if I don't take this offer, that's an invitation for you to be more in illusion. So you may want to ask yourself, how much of my life am I just really present? And how much of my life am I in the story about what's present? And this might be really rich for you to inquire into that and see how that applies to the moment.
I see.
Yeah, that's great.
And Sue, you were saying something when she got the devil, and you said something briefly, and I didn't catch that.
Sue, did you want to unmute and say? You're muted though.
I'm sorry, I'm not. Yeah, when the devil comes up, the devil means you're giving away your power.
That's what it was. Giving away my power to what?
To the situation to control you instead of you controlling the situation.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Giving away my power. Like if I don't take this, then it means I'm, stuck in some way.
Yes. And again, it's not necessarily wrong. Please hear me, okay?
Yes.
Whatever it is you decide has to be right for you. However, if you are dedicated to moving forward on the path, moving forward in your life, go for it. In that card, the devil, I mean, I'll find it for you if I can real quickly. The chains are so loose, they can lift them right off their necks. And the devil is always the yes, but card, okay? Whenever the devil comes up, here he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Right.
And it's the yes, but card. Sweetie, when you're ready to lift the chain off, leave a space for whoever needs to learn that lesson. But if you've learned that lesson already and you say, okay, you never get it done and you never get it wrong. All
Okay.
right?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And go ahead.
Okay, thanks. So real quick, I just pulled 3 more cards when you were asking your questions, your last question, Dee. And essentially what I'm getting is that you are letting your fear rule you.
Mhm.
And that is another way that the devil steps in and offers you this illusion of something that could be better than you. So I want to just welcome you to prioritize your honoring your feelings right now. And the biggest hit I've gotten underneath all of this is that mourning and grieving is something that you need to address. And that I feel that you're feeling so much resistance because this is feeling as though this whole house selling process is interrupting your mourning and your grieving process.
Yes.
And as you do your grounding and meditating, I want to invite you to prioritize that and allow yourself and give yourself permission to grieve and mourn as much and whenever you need to help to fully process what's happening. And I feel that getting that out of the way and releasing those emotions will allow you to think more clearly and be more flexible and open to change in the future, because until you address your heart's need to release this trauma that you've experienced and all the memories of your life with your parents, your brain will remain stuck and rigid, and you're not going to be able to really think with freedom and clarity about the best options for you. So that's what I have.
Until I release some of this grief.
Or at least give yourself permission to do it, and like let the process happen with your intention and your permission to continue to flow. Yes.
Yes. So it's
no, it's our D. So just Anne, we have to pull this together. So D,
Okay.
you have something else really brief to say, but we've got to pull this to a close.
Right.
Okay.
It's basically, no, I haven't completed my grieving process yet. And it is making it hard for me to like make this decision. And is it like that I have to make the decision, or that I have to do the grieving before I can make the decision?
You can do both, but setting the intention to continue the grieving, I feel, is the way to make the decision easier.
Okay. Thank you.
So one thing I want to mention briefly, D, is it occurs to me there's another trait that I sometimes read in people's eyes, and so there's 7 options. You all might be interested to see what this is. And I just think, D, I think that this might be tapping into a way that you approach everything. It doesn't have to be permanent. There are ways of shifting and growing to be able to tap into all 7, but I think that's part of what's here. So I'm going to start describing in the opposite direction than I usually do. So it's the attitude in terms of time. So some people are idealists. Time myself. Some people are idealists where they're looking at the future. What's coming next? They often have lists of where they want to go and what they want to do. And then there are pragmatists that are grounded in the now and are aware of where they want to go, and they're focused on moving that way, but they don't focus on just what the thing is that they want. They're okay to do what idealists call make compromises to make progress. And then there's a realist that's right here, right now, and if they can't feel it and touch it, it doesn't exist. And there's a spiritualist that's here in the present, and they can't connect to the future or the past. And then there is I feel like I'm missing one. Well, then there's a skeptic. No, there's one more. I don't remember what it's called right now, but it's the one that's let's say a skeptic that is a little bit into the past and like it's not likely. There's one other one though. There's one that's like, you can't move me. I don't remember what it's called, but like I'm here and you can't move me anywhere. And then the skeptic, and then the cynic is way in the past of like, no way, it's never going to happen. And blah, blah, blah. And I just feel like in all the questions that you've ever asked, there's always a bit of a pull in the past. There's a fear of the future and more pull in the past. And I think that may be what's here for you right now. And I just want to encourage you is this the way you make all your decisions? And you go through, like you've gone through the stress and frustration and fear, and if so, have some things worked and it's worked out okay, and how, and getting stuck that way, maybe have things been even harder. We all use the style we use, right? So I'm a pragmatist, and so it totally pisses off idealists. They're like, no, you're not going for the best thing that we really need to go for. So we all, and the pragmatist is frustrated with the realist because the realist won't budge unless they can touch it. And so they don't believe in intuition, for example. So there are all different kinds of approaches. Right? So maybe being aware of this and being aware of your style and your history, and like, oh, there's just this part of me that goes about it this way. Maybe you can have it be easier, even though it's like this for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for supporting our panels and appreciating what we do and leaping in and asking a question. It was great. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you guys, all your guys' attention and intentions and assistance around this. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It's exciting to find out what happens and how it all goes.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
We've got Liza in line and then Natalie. And if anyone else wants to ask a question of the panel, we just request that you pay first to do that. I'll put the information in the chat again. We'll have time to answer a few more questions too. All right, Liza, let's get you up on the stage. What is your question?
Well, I just want to give a little bit of back history. I'm like 3rd generation psychic and healer. Kind of came about it. I think I was probably about 17, 18, something like that. And throughout my life, I felt like I was living a dual life, the life of a very aware and individual that knew about like the universe. And I mean, I was, communicating with animals, all this kind of stuff. And then I had my human life, which I was fully aware of, that I came here through a contract that I needed to work through. And I had a really, really hard time for the longest time navigating this world with these two people. And so probably about 10 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that, I finally was able to understand and come together with both of them. And so, but in the midst of all of this, the biggest part of my journey so far has been trying to figure out, as a channeler and healer, so forth, how that's going to happen, because I've been taking care of my kids, my 3 sons, and I'm kind of sort of an empty nester type of thing. But basically, all of my spiritual work, everything that I wanted to do, has been on the side burner for years, and I've never really had a chance to really develop it and do all this stuff. Now that I have an opportunity, and this has kind of happened a lot in my life, is that something happens, and usually it's a physical thing. Like, I've been injured several times, and I just got, when I was just starting to redo my apartment, and try to get it how I want it in order for me to start my business and my journey and stuff like that, I injured my back. And like, my house is completely discombobulated. My sons are, and I know a lot of people have children who just have a really hard time because they're just starting their life, to really want to help, and you feel guilty. It feels hard for me to talk about it sometimes, but so the big part is I've always had frustration because I've never really been able to. Sorry. Like, I know I'm really super powerful. Like, I have so much, right? I like from a very long time ago. I mean, I know there's so much that I have to offer, so much that I want to be able to provide as part of my contract, and as part of just being a very nurturing person. And I know that I've lived a long time giving my power away. I had a dream a long time ago when I was in my 20s that these 2 physicians took my liver out, and then they handed it to me and said, "You need to put it back." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I asked my mother, and she said, "Oh, the liver symbolizes your power." And so that's basically been my whole journey, is trying to take my power back from like my toxic relationships and abusive relationships and things like that, to being codependent and all this kind of stuff. But I'm trying to figure out why I keep having these physical debilitating situations that it just feels like everything stops. And sometimes I feel like, am I going to have enough time? I really feel that, like, I feel like the time is ticking, and partly too because I know I'm a conscious being, and I'm here, and I have a great opportunity to be here and experience. And I feel like I've just wasted my time, and I don't know if I have enough time to do the things that I want to do as a healer and psychic, and just as a human being, to be able to live my life and just have a little adventure. So I'm trying to figure out, have some clarity. Is what I need, is having some clarity to the situation that I'm going through.
Well, thank you so much, Liza, for sharing. Practitioners, I took a whole bunch of notes that are in that doc if you want to see it. If you don't have the link, let me know and I'll send it to you. Yeah, Liza. Yeah, thanks for being here and for sharing with us, and letting us support you.
And I really appreciate y'all being here because I feel like I'm in the midst of all these beautiful, wonderful crones that I've missed so much in my life.
All right, we've got Jenna and then Audrey, then Henry and then Sue. Oops. All right, yeah, Jenna, go ahead.
Hi, Liza. Thank you for sharing so vulnerably with us today and just for being brave in bringing something like this forward. I just want to honor that that's something that would scare me, and I just respect that you're doing it today. My reading's very short and sweet, but I think that's what you might need right now. You were saying, what do I do to get to this place of clarity? You do have to believe that you have the potential for clarity because you do have the Queen of Swords. And so I trust that you can get there. The Queen of Swords does well by reading books typically and meditating. That feeds her soul. But the thing that is draining you right now is spreading yourself too thin with the Seven of Cups and the Knight of Wands reversed. You have to be super clear. You're coming into the death card of a transformation. That does not mean real physical death. You know that as a psychic, but just to clarify for all those listening, you're ready for a transformation, but you're blocking it by spreading yourself too thin over too many panels of, not like this, but different things that you're trying to fit it all in.
Mhm.
You want the time to do something with the time you want the right choice to do something with the time you have. Make it a very short list of the most fulfilling, narrow it down, simplify to the most fulfilling thing. And I think you might even get more time to be able to do more of what you want because you're so focused on the clear detail. She is cutting with a sword directly into that suture, just right. She's doing a surgery. Do not spread yourself too thin. Cut all the things out that aren't absolutely pertinent to your greatest, most simple path forward.
Yeah, I kind of, when my son moved out, I told all my kids that the door was going to be closed and I was going to be MIA for a month and I was just going to focus on me. But it didn't happen that way. It was like, it didn't happen. All of a sudden I got injured and I needed help, and it's been really, really difficult because I consider it was my time. I was going to be I'm unemployed right now and I need to look for work, and I was going to really, this was my time. This was me trying to figure out myself, what it looks like to be on my own, all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden this happened. So
yeah, so just get very, very focused on just a few things that you find deeply fulfilling to completely draw your attention and simplicity into.
It looks like Liza froze, so let's make sure that Liza's still on.
Something's freezing.
Yeah, it looked like it froze, but
You're freezing. I didn't get any of what you just said.
I'm just gonna turn off your video for a moment. Okay, can you hear us better, Liza?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So my main last thing is just repeating what I said, summarizing that the best thing you can do right now is just to only do like one or two things that you find very fulfilling and cut the rest of the list out. Make the list a lot shorter and simpler and just get that focus, and then you'll feel that satisfaction you're seeking and probably be able to accomplish even more things.
Okay.
And good luck to you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, great. Thanks, Jenna. Let's see. And next, we've got Audrey.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, I'm totally in agreement with Jenna about streamlining and doing just finding one thing or just a few focuses that you want to dive into. But I was also getting a spirit guide message for you, saying that this is the High Priestess was the first card that I drew for you. So the spirit guide says that we are all, if you know anything about astrology, it's like we are all multiple personalities, right? Because we all have 10 planets. We all have, this part of us, we have a lot of relationships. This other part of us, we really want to go deep within ourselves and our own inner world. So there are just so many different part of you that you can that you are inclusive of. So it is not to say I can only do this and not the other, or oh well, all my life I was devoted to my kids and my husband or everything, and now I have no life. But that was your life, right? That was the fiber of you, of your life. If you say, oh well, I choose to not have that memory, I want to really be free and just be myself, then I would have had all the fun of doing the psychic development and exploring my own self and all of that. But then you will probably not be who you are today because you've lost a lot of the lessons that you learned within. So definitely you want to, find your priorities. And what is, I did a Celtic cross. So this is a cross you. So what you're thinking, yes, I want to have fun. You think, you are getting very emotional. You feel that that's really what you have been lacking all these years, is to have fun. But I think, learning how to discern the high priestess, learning which side that you are devoting your energy to, like, oh, right now, for these few years, I'm a good mother. And then for these other few years, I am a very good, or maybe you were doing it at the same time. I was a good reader. I was a counselor for a lot of my friends. I talked to a lot of people. I helped them out, so all of those things can be you. So, just very quickly, to wrap up, this is the card that I drew for D, right? The Five of Pentacles, and I drew that for you too. So I think the like energy attract. And then so today there's something similar, or that you're in sync with D, or that you both came to this place because you're thinking, what about me? What about me? I'm being drawn into two different, so many different, 5 different directions, or, I have to do this, I have to do that. And I won't have time for me, the little old me. But honestly, the spirit guide says, yes, anytime you can, sit down and right away, just like in Buddhism, we say that anytime you want to be a Buddha, you just sit down and close your eyes, put your hands in namaste. And then you are Zen-like, you are Buddha-like. So any moment, the beginning of the end of your life, or the beginning of the end of whatever, however they say that, right? It is right now, this moment, today. So yes, you can start living your life, being happy, delving into the spiritual world as much as you love, and this is the moment.
Thanks, Audrey.
Thank you.
Henry, you're next. We've got Henry, and then Sue, then Kendara and Anne.
So I got something a little bit different. But I can't see you now.
Oh, I'm right here.
Oh, we turned off the video because she was
Oh.
having trouble hearing.
Okay, guys. It's this rose-like. Yeah, it's not a rose, but it looks a little bit like one. Okay, I only pulled 2 cards, and I only pulled them because, well, this is a tarot reading event. Okay, so are you running the time for me, Lorelei? Oh, great. Okay, so the hit I got for you is, so this may sound negative, but it is positive. Just hang in there, okay?
Got it.
It's, yes, you are running out of time. Yes, fear is causing you to sabotage yourself. But now here's the hit I got. Let go. Let go, because you're the magician and you're not here for what you think you're here. Right? You are the healer. You are psychic. You are powerful. This lifetime is not why you're here. You're not here for that this lifetime. But because it gives me total goosebumps, because you are so powerful and you've been such an important person and you've done such powerful things in other lives, that this echo keeps pushing you, and you're sabotaging yourself with and allowing others to do that for you as well, with injuries and things like that, is so that you do the thing that you came for, which is to learn your humanness.
Oh my God.
Right.
Oh my, yeah.
And also the hit I got was humility. So like not like humility as in meek and make yourself small, but as in becoming more related to people's not being when people are not as powerful as you. So you're like, so like in other lives, you've been so powerful where it's like smack upside the head. Come on, snap out of it. I see the amazing you are, you know, you can do this, get with it. And this lifetime, you wanted to really get down into the humanness, and you want to get down into the struggle that people have. And that's all gold. You're mining the gold of the contrast of what it means to be a human being. And so that's what let go, like you are that, and you're going to come back and you're going to be it again, but you're going to be so much more powerful in terms of what you can offer to people, because you will have been tempered by the suffering that for some reason you haven't had to do, because you've just always been really powerful and really magical. Does this speak to you?
Yeah, I wanted to just say, because you're the first person that's ever like hit on it. So when I was younger, I knew that I was a monk in my past life. I knew that, I mean, I could see my past lives. And I also knew very clearly that I had two roles to play. I was here because of the fact that I was so spiritual and I did so much energy work and spiritual work and stuff, to here for me to actually live as a human and to work through being human and
Exactly.
relationships. And I mean, I remember several times throughout my life, I'm like, I'm here to experience the teachings of what relationships and all that kind of human is. Because I remember like leaving my body so many times and being up above the earth and being so pissed about having to come down and deal with these human beings and, you know, all these petty stuff, you know. And I didn't even understand the whole concept of love, because I felt like so many people utilized feelings and emotion as a distraction from what we really were here to do, right? Because people, you know, humans get so wrapped up in all these emotions and stuff that it blinds them from their situation. So
yeah, exactly.
I totally agree. I kind of agree with, I mean, I do agree with you, because my mother was okay. My mother is, she went through her final phase, and she passed away, but she was a psychic healer. She was here to help me and bring me in and support me and let me know that I wasn't alone. But I thought, I've always felt like I had to follow what she was doing. I had to follow because of like what I know about myself. I always felt like I had to in some way follow my mother and all my psychics in my family and do what they did. But there was always a part of me that was like, I mean, I felt not necessarily burdened by this feeling of responsibility, but like, you know, I have this other part of me that I feel like I'm also supposed to explore. You know what I'm saying?
So
like
the thing that you need to, that's not need to, you don't need to anything. But the thing that's really important for you to realize is that because other people have been these powerful healers in many lifetimes, you learned by watching and you learned by being taught. And that kept you from becoming fully human in terms of, you know, the messy parts of human that cause us to have compassion and empathy. Because you learned this stuff instead of experiencing it the hard way. And this lifetime, you're here to experience it the hard way. And if you want to create like a little bit of space for yourself, so you're not have to constantly suffer, the letting go will help you. And also when you practice the letting go of your aspirations, letting go of the grandness that you have been, you will also learn that this is something you can teach others. Because at this point, you can't teach that to others, because you just want others to be the grandness that they can be, as if there were a hierarchy of value. And of course there isn't, and on some level you know that, but you're now experiencing it. That this life you're living now is a much smaller and insignificant life in terms of judgment. And you will come through this and realize that there is nothing small and insignificant about it, that it's a grand life.
Right. And it's kind of like how I'm feeling now, especially with all the awakenings that's happening. I was watching Matías de Stefano and his whole series, and it was completely, I was really reverberated with all of that, and I was getting all sorts of downloads and confirmations and stuff, and I was like, okay, and so for the first time, I was really feeling so grateful about having this physical body and having this opportunity to live. And that's why part of me was just, I was frustrated because like I was saying, I felt like I had sort of, there's no wasting, but there's a part of me felt like I had wasted so much of my life here, in fear and in, all these other doubts that I had. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to waste the opportunity that I've been blessed with being in this physical form, so that I can really not only experience it for myself, be able to share with other beings in the universe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're not here doing this just for ourselves. We're here to expand and share, and all this energy and experience and stuff. So I totally get it. Yeah.
All right, great. Thanks so much, Henry. Thanks, Liza. I know the jumping back and forth. I want to make sure practitioners have enough time. All right, Sue, go ahead.
Okay, lady, you got to cut yourself some slack, and you
I'm not
definitely
that
have to
hard.
forgive yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
And forgive yourself. You're not here to compete with anybody else. You're not here to compete with your mom. You're not here to compete with anybody. And the card that I got for you is the Ace of Pentacles. You are the embodiment of integrity. You walk your talk.
Oh my God, that was horrible.
Okay? And
That's
the stuff with the body, the stuff with the body. You are an aspect of the divine. That is what is breathing you. That is what is within you. Stop punishing your body to slow yourself down.
Oh hell no, you did not just say that. That's so funny. Wow. Wow, that was very well
All right.
said.
Now,
Slow myself
the
down.
Ace of Pentacles says, you are an inspiration to others if they choose to raise their vibration, raise their eyes, gaze at you. They can be inspired. But this is one of the cards where there are no automatic blessings that fall from this. All right? So that there are people out there who need and want you and who will benefit greatly, greatly. And you are very, very powerful. Number one, the past, that was then, this is now. Be here now. And know that you are infinitely loved.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. All right, Kendara.
I
I'm
can't hear.
unmuting. I'm picking up what Sue said a lot, and that first one I got for you was the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, which means you don't have to put anything out. You can just be within. You've got so much to offer. You've done so much in so many other lives. You're a blessing, and this is needed for you to really give yourself the credit and not be out there doing 500 other things. It's not that you can't, but if you're a wounded healer who's gone through this and a selfish giver who really gives what they can, you will totally and completely be victorious. The next card that I got was the Ace of Wands in reverse. But again, it means you don't have to put anything out there. It's all within. It's all self-contained. And the last card I get for you is the Hermit in reverse, which means you don't have to prove anything to yourself. You can just be a light for others. So you're right where you need to be. So like they said, cut yourself a little bit of slack because you are so loved and appreciated. And that's what I get for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thanks, Kendara. And you're next.
Okay, Liza, I just pulled one card and it is the Nine of Pentacles. So I really feel like this is touching on things that everyone else has said here, because to me, I always associate the nines with the Hermit card. And Pentacles are about the physical realm, about your body and about your physical situation. So the Hermit is about going within and finding everything you want from within yourself. And there's that Buddha idea too, that you are a Buddha when you choose to be a Buddha, right? Like Audrey said, or I didn't say it right, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I used to always call myself a walking Buddha.
Yeah. So this is reminding you of that, that you are still a walking Buddha, and you can be a sitting Buddha as well by just being still and inhabiting your body. I think that's the big message I'm getting, is for you to let go of any expectations you put on yourself, any expectations you feel anyone else has put upon you or is putting on you, and just be here now, be in your body, physically inhabit your body. And with this card, you see the image of a person with a bird, and they're about to let the bird go. And there's a big part about letting go here, that in order to really occupy yourself, you need to let go of some attachment. So again, the expectations that you are feeling are ready to be released, and it's up to you to decide to release them and inhabit your physical body. And the only other thing I want to add is that I was reminded of a quote from Esther Hicks, or Abraham Hicks, which is, it's an intention or a mantra, you can say, that is simply, I intend to feel good and stay in alignment with my inner being. And it has nothing to do with who you're supposed to be. It's just about feeling good now and continuing to feel that way. So that's all. That's what I have for you, Liza. Thank you.
No problem. I just wanted to say two things. One, when I heard your voice this time when you came through, I got really strong energies that we knew each other in the past life. It just like boom, it was like real strong that we have known each other in the past life. And then secondly, I was wondering, is there any way you can in chat put that quote down? That way
Oh, sure.
I can utilize that quote in my mantras. That would be really super awesome.
No problem. Of course.
Thank you so much.
All right, great. Anyone have anything else left for Liza? All right, great, Liza. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, Liza. Thank you for allowing us to share with you. And yeah, excited to.
Thank you for creating this safe space. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, next we have Natalie.
Yay.
Almost going to be on our. Yeah, Natalie was almost going to be on our training panel, but things happen.
Yeah. That's partly why I'm asking today my question. So the past 2 months, I got hit with COVID in August, and then I just had surgery to have my appendix removed. So it was like an emergency appendectomy that I had. And all while this is happening, the company that I've been working with for 13 years, and I've been promoted 4 times through the company, is like I might get terminated because I'm not willing to get the vaccine. So I am submitting an exemption for that request, but I'm not entirely sure whether it will go through. And I'm kind of at a place where I have felt like, this company isn't really going to take me to where I want to be. I kind of feel underappreciated and underpaid. But it just so happens that the day before I had an interview within this company was when my appendix had issues and I was urgently admitted to the emergency room. And then I have a deadline until October 8th, which is coming up here, to submit for my exemption. So anyways, I'm just trying to get any kind of guidance that, as far as like job stuff, like what the cards have to say. And yeah, I'm kind of open either way. Like if it's like, hey, you need to start looking, outside, and this is not your field of long-term work, and this is why things are happening, I would be okay with that. But yeah, I'm just hoping for some kind of guidance. Thank you.
I know you've told me before, but I can't remember, what do you do?
Yeah, so what is it? Funny enough, I work for a health insurance company. So I work for medical insurance.
And what do you do for them?
I work as an account manager.
Okay, so sales.
Yeah.
Doing sales. Okay. All right, great. We've got people in line with cards. We've got Audrey, Jenna, and Sue. All right, go ahead, Audrey.
Okay, thank you. All right, so okay, thank you. All right, the first energy that I got for you was the Chariot. So again, I did a Celtic cross for you, and it says that this is a period for you to march forward, to muster up all your courage, all your energy within to go forward, to leap to the next phase of your life. So, this is really a very good encouragement message for you. Now, what is crossing you is the sun. Is to be, actually, this is also, two major arcana cards. So they're saying that they're both very important in your life's progress, your spiritual progress, learning how to either go forward or to relax and enjoy all the innocence and happiness, and not letting people dictate to you, and, live your life however you like. But I feel that when you ask the question about your job, another major arcana card, the High Priestess, came out. So 3 major arcana cards came out for you. It says that about this job, there is still a little bit of a attachment to it. I think even though, it's not really most ideal like you described, but I feel that you are not really willing to let go, or that you're still thinking, oh, should I stay, should I go? And that's probably also because there is no next step in place for you just yet. Okay, but I feel very strongly, this is a psychic feeling that I got, was that somebody, this connection that you have is already here for you. So you will be able to hear something about this other job or new job, or, so just be patient, take your time. It's definitely coming. And about leaving the job, if you're still feeling undecided, I think, of course, I think this is a very good time for you to stay home and relax your body, because our body always tells us what we need to do. It's like, oh, you ate this food and that food, or oh, you had this emotional trauma, whatever. So your body is very objectively releasing the information for you. So this is a very good time for you to stay in bed, think about, oh, what should I do? That's usually how getting sick is for.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Audrey. Jenna's next.
Hi there. Yeah, so I also have a similar response. One thing I love about tarot is that we can get similar answers from combinations of cards versus singular cards. It's sort of funny. So this to me feels like a Chariot combination of an Ace of Pentacles, which to me means, yes, go look for that new job. You're ready for a change. And I think you're just ready for something new in life. You're just ready. You just need something to shake it up. With the Warrior card of the 7 of Wands, of putting your energy forward in a big way, similar to what Audrey just said. The other thing I got is that the reason you need to leave this job is because of a Strength card reversed. It's just not fulfilling your gifts. It doesn't feel like it's really your space of power. And I think you're ready to step into something that feels more like your power. I have a funny feeling that it could still be in a similar field. But with that, we have the Emperor card, which is just self-direction of knowing where your power is and directing yourself the right way. The Emperor also knows how to make some basic sacrifices to fit into the better good for all. So consider what that might be and how, that might be like, okay, I'm going to stop spending a little money so I can have a little extra space between my jobs, or something like that, where you might be cutting something away in order to direct yourself into a better space. Longer commute, it could be, like lots of different ways. It would be a small sacrifice for the greater good. Consider what would be okay with that as you're looking. And you have the Justice card, which makes me think, with what you were saying your job is, I was immediately hit of like, you'd be on the other side of helping people get insurance who need it or who are fighting with insurance, and you can maybe help a legal office from the other side, like knowing the inside track of how things, I don't know, something about being a part of the service of helping people in this field in a way that you're excited and empowered to do, rather than feeling kind of dragged back by just doing something that's routine and not as fulfilling as it once was. So I'd say go for it, but it's going to take a little energy to get there, and a little bit of sacrifice, but also self-direction in a powerful way. And I think you got this. Go for it, Natalie.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jenna. Next is Sue.
Okay. Hi. I definitely feel that the Chariot is telling you that the vehicle that brought you this far, namely the job, ain't working anymore. It's lived its life. It's given as much as you're going to get from it. Okay. And what I got for you was the Page of Wands. And I don't see the court cards as being people. I see them as stages of a journey. And the page means you have started on your journey of following your dream and following what it is that you know how to do, how to be of service and healing, because your spirit and your intuition and your gifts are so strong. The only caution is don't get lost in the dream, but you're on your way, and they're clearly saying, keep going.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Sue. Next is Kendara.
It's interesting to me how the things that everybody's saying tonight all seem to go together. First card I got for you was the Four of Wands in reverse, which means it was a good job for you for the time being, but now you're not getting what you really need from it. Then I get the Three of Wands and basically it's a commerce card. It's a business card. You have the support you need to go on to the next step. And then the last card that I got for you was the Four of Swords in reverse, which means you're rising above the strife. So what I have to say for you is really go for it, because this was a vehicle, that got you to where you need to go. But what you're wanting to do and where you're going is so different. So you will be fine. It might take a little while, but you will be taken care of.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, next is Anne.
Okay, so Natalie, as I was shuffling for you, 4 cards fell out of my deck, and they are in order: the Hermit, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. So all of these suggest to me that the thing for you to do now is to go within. The Hermit, like I mentioned with Liza, is about going within, seeking answers from within yourself. And I feel like this echoes what everyone else has said, that for you to find what you're truly here for now is the thing. And it's not this job anymore. It's something different. It's something that only you can offer the world. So the Hermit is just all about that. In general, it's number 9. And after the Hermit, You get to 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune, where you spin the wheel and earn yourself an opportunity to change your life completely. So you're in that going within phase where you are preparing for a big change. And what's helping is for you to reflect on your thoughts. The Queen of Swords is all about the feminine, the divine feminine aspect of the mind or the mental plane. And to be in the feminine state of mind is to receive, reflect, process, assimilate, and understand, approach a place or get to a place of understanding what's already in your mind. You know, think about your thoughts and think critically about them, and ask yourself, do you want to continue thinking and identifying yourself in the way you have been, or would you like to rewrite the story? And then next you've got the Queen of Pentacles. So she also reviews and reflects and reconsiders, but she's looking at the material plane. So that's about your finances, your physical world, your body, your health, your work, your material resources. And this may reflect you redoing how you earn your income, how you manage your money, how you take care of your health, where you spend your time, how you travel. There's that chariot idea again, and just how you are in the world physically. And then finally, you get to the High Priestess, where you know everything and you have access to all the knowledge you could possibly want, and you share it as you see fit. And she is a free agent. She is someone who doesn't work for anybody. She shares her knowledge with whoever she chooses. So this could represent being a private contractor, or it could just mean that you choose to work for a company that is in alignment with your highest ideals. So that's something to think about, but you're not there yet. You're in the reflecting phase. You're in the meditating phase. You're in the going within phase. And it begins with the Hermit, where you just simply set the intention to go within and you practice going within and seeing what answers come, and you allow them. You're not in a masculine state of going out and doing and getting and providing. You're in a feminine state of receiving. So that's what I have for you. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, and what was that deck?
It's the Aquarian deck.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Great. Anyone have anything else to share with Natalie?
Everything resonated with me. I tried to take the best notes possible, but I will say that definitely the part about reflecting at the end that Anne shared, it's like I don't really have a choice right now. You know? So yeah, thank you so much.
Right, and Henry's got a little bit more to share too. Go ahead, Henry.
Okay.
So Natalie, I had this really strong thing not to do a reading. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. You know, if I'm not meant to be doing a reading, I can listen. And then that somehow shifted.
Okay.
Not this last reader, but the reader before. I'm like, okay, I'll pull 2 cards, and if they don't make any sense. So I think they make a lot of sense. So first we got death, which we've talked about many times, is, you know, the old falls away, or you sometimes actually have to actually boot it. So it's to make room for the next thing. And then I got the 8 of Air, which is talking about feeling trapped. So I think that it's just adding to what's already been told you, that when we feel trapped or like put in a corner, you know, where it's like somebody else defines what your options are, then it can very easily become about fighting that. And suddenly before you know it, you're in this tug of war with that condition. And what this card is telling you, no, you're not in a tug of war, at all with whether or not you're trapped, whether or not somebody else is limiting your options or is telling you what you can and can't do. You're not at all trapped by that. You can transform. And that basically is the only way out of the trap. Does this speak to you?
Yeah, I'm like thinking of it in two different ways. So I probably have to like, let it settle and then think about it a little bit more. But whenever I think of death, I definitely just think of like inner transformation. Death of like the person that I am now, and then coming into a new version.
And also like death of not just the person you are, maybe not even something as global as that. It may just, because the hit I'm getting, it's about, are you familiar with what a straw argument is? A straw man argument? A straw man argument is when somebody makes a case you then have to rebut, where the case itself is not what it's about. So it's like an unfair way of arguing. And so I feel that that's what's going on here, that the conditions are not what they seem to be, and you're not limited at all. And that's the thing to transform, this idea of that you are limited in some way.
Got it. I'm glad. Actually, that's really super duper helpful, because that's always been the way I've always felt, is stuck. So yeah, you hit on the nail on the head. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Natalie. We look forward to when you're better and you jump in on some of the panels too. All right, so in line, just so everyone's aware, we've got like a half hour and 3 minutes, and we've got DB and then Jasmine, and then Verna's asking if we have time to answer one more question. So can any of you stay later than 7:30? It's okay if you can't, but can any of you do that? Do any of you? So we got a couple. Okay, yeah. So Verna, we can do one more question. All right, great. And some of you have to leave, and we'll make sure you have a chance to check out and share your contact info and your specials and all that before you go. So please remind me as we get close to the 25 after. All right, DB is next. DB, do you want to? So yeah, Verna, you're.
Hello.
Let me.
Can everyone hear me? I unmuted.
Yeah. If you want to, you can turn on your video and come up on the spotlight. You do not have to.
No one wants to see me right now. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So my questions main issue, I guess, it's really hard to put this all together, because I sort of just said, okay, I want to get answers. And then I started thinking, what do I want answers to? But essentially, I'm 51 and kind of going through this spot where I've had a lot of health diagnoses suddenly. And yet I want to do some things that are pretty active, which I really worry about my body allowing me to do. So I'm a nurse, and I'm in the process of a change. If things work out, I'll be moving about 2 hours away, but for a short-term 3-month assignment. And so one of the opportunities with the same company fell through. And yet they're a big company with a lot of trust in the industry. So I'm trying to just trust that this new assignment is really what it's chalked up to be, and that things will go through. And so I'm looking at a start in November. And then to kind of add to things, of course, this happens when I'm in this huge transition. I have a son who's in another state and is going through a lot of struggles, had a long-term sobriety from opioids, and just recently had a relapse, which he seems to be dealing with and coming out of in a much stronger way than he may have in the past before he had gotten into any recovery. And so with all that said, there's a possibility that he may want to come out here with me. And there's some great things about that for me personally. He could help me pack and move. I mean, there's a lot of physical things that he could be doing that would really help me out, that would keep him busy as well. And also he was with me when he first really got stabilized. So I can see, my impact on him, work, being a really positive thing for him as well. So I'm just in that flux around, do I get the job and physically can I do it? I'm diabetic now, or my blood sugar is going to just go through the roof with stress with my son, or, just all these things. So any sort of guidance around any of that. So that's my huge ball of wax for you guys.
All right, great. And I'm just going to jump in with one thing before the practitioners are starting. So you're in the healthcare field. Do you follow naturopathy at all?
A little bit. I'm, of course, westernized medicine because that's what I'm trained in. But I see an acupuncturist, and there are some things, some herbals and that kind of thing that I will look into. I'm pretty open-minded. If I can find something that really makes sense to me, if I can find some literature or something on it that really explains it to me to a certain degree.
Sure. I have a naturopath that I see that is just particularly, it seems to be particularly educated and has so much to share. It's hard for me to take it all in, and I take a lot of stuff in. And she has experienced with her clients, her patients, that almost all of what shows up as diabetes she can address with dietary changes. So there might be other routes to go. And the problem with some of the diabetes medicine is it kind of keeps you trapped in that cycle and doesn't actually have you get better. So
yeah,
things to explore. And if you want contact info for certain people, happy, for someone, I'm happy to do that. She does telemedicine. And all right.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, great. Okay, let's see. We've got Jenna, Sue, and Audrey. Jenna, go ahead.
I also want to second that naturopaths have saved my life. So just a huge fan.
Awesome.
So on the job thing, it's a little vague. I got more information about your son. I feel like the job thing, I got this 6 of Swords, which is sort of like a divorcing card, like you might be ready to leave something. But the thing you're going toward has the Hierophant card reversed. So I would just want to make sure that the structure of the system you're moving into is a stable one before you go. So that one felt more vague to me. Hopefully the other readers have more about that. What came through very clearly was the Sun. He is a Knight of Cups, someone who's a very emotionally sensitive, probably very intuitive person. And I think that it's important for him to have a spiritual base in his life. And he's ready to start making better practical decisions. I also can see Pentacles as being a drug in a sense. And so I feel like he's making better decisions. I feel like he's in a better place with that. And the 6 of Cups is, I feel like he should come out and stay with you. I do feel like you can handle that he will be helpful, that it's helped in the past, it's going to help again. And 6 of Cups to me is like celebrating good memories together. Go through old photo albums, remind him of who he is and was and will always be as your son who you love. And, I feel like there's something magical that can happen here in that connection. The other thing,
giving me goosebumps. So the 6 of Cups, and what was before that?
So the Cups, Knight of Cups is who he is right now. And the 2 of Pentacles is him really trying to practically make new, better decisions.
Okay.
And the 6 of Cups being your heart connection that you have.
Got it.
Especially talking nostalgic stuff of the past and his ability to come through again. And the 2 of Swords, where you're kind of making a logical decision about it, but also you are really ready. I think you're ready for this. And I feel like you know how to take care of your own energy to help support his. And I feel really good about your son coming out to stay with you. The job part I felt more vague on, but there's something you need to leave behind.
Around job stuff.
There's something like you need to leave behind that feels clear, but I couldn't tell where you're going. So son coming out felt good though.
Great.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenna. And I've got Jenna's information in the chat with her special. We've got Sue, Audrey, and then Kendara. Go ahead, Sue.
Okay. I pulled for you the Sun, which to me is a whole brand new beginning. It means you've been around the block a couple times. You've learned and you've kept the wisdom from what it is that you've learned. And now you are willing to enter into the new phase, the new stage of life, open, vulnerable, shining your light which is so much a part of who you are, to the fact that the sunflowers are reflecting toward you. All right. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's big time. The next thing I got though was the Knight of Cups. And to me, the Knight of Cups is perfectionist tendencies. In other words, you really don't want to make a mistake. And so you are proceeding very, very carefully. And somebody comes along and taps you on the shoulder and says, DB, didn't you agree to be human? And you say, yeah. And you say, well, to be human means to make mistakes and to learn from them. Okay.
What just popped up that it should have actually been my question for everyone
Yeah.
is that I have been stuck with depression such that I can't move to get started packing and that kind of thing. And that really relates to the perfectionist kind of thing,
Yeah.
because I'm overwhelmed just looking at my piles, and I feel like
Right.
I have to start in the perfect spot to begin on the piles, if that makes sense, because
It
I have
does.
this in my mind. If I don't start at X, Z is going to be really messed up.
Okay.
So then I don't start on anything.
But the Knight of Cups needs to be reminded that resource is always at hand. If what's in the cup that you don't want to spill is so precious, the river's right there. It's time for you to say, okay, and go giddy up and get going, because you can always do that. And the other card that came up for you is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands, kings represent mastery. And mastery in the field of wands, mastery of your skills and talents. Lady, you're at the top of your game. You can write your own ticket. You are, okay, you're good at what you do. And so, whole new beginning. People that hire you like that, if that's what you're looking for.
Nice. Interesting you say that. I'm a psych nurse. It's part of my interest in tarot. It's just working with people. And yeah, so and right now with the pandemic, the opportunities for nurses is just, even in psych, behavioral health nursing, I can say, the opportunities are just insane.
Amen.
Thank
Good
you
luck
very
to you.
much. Thank you.
You're
Thanks so
welcome.
much.
Thanks, Sue. All right, we've got Audrey next.
Okay, thank you. So DB, you were talking and you mentioned a few things, so I just kind of followed the energy. So first of all, you know, I am a diabetic myself, so I drew this card, the 8 of Wands, for you, for your physical condition, whether it's about diabetes or later on you mentioned about the depression. It tells me, you know, it makes me happy, or the reassurance came from the spirit guide, that you are you're under control, that your condition is okay, that you can do a lot of different things, you know, following the doctor's orders, or do whatever that you, in good common sense and good judgment, you will do okay with your physical condition. So that's just a number one, just an overall outcome of your physical trial, or you know, whatever that you're going through. Okay, so and then secondly, when you mentioned about your son possibly coming over to stay with you, I got a very good positive card, Ace of Wands. So it's nothing but all goodness. He is the emperor, you know, so he's not coming here for your help. He's more like, oh, he's coming here to be the backbone, to be the support of your system. I like Sue, I also got the Sun for you. It's almost like you can be the child now. He can be the parent, or that he can be, you know, he'll be the man in the house, and then you can just relax and say, oh, okay. All right. And then so this is what's crossing you is the Mother card, the Queen of Cups. So you probably think, oh, I can't be a mother. You know, I can't do the heavy lifting. And so I want to reassure you that your son is not going to require any of your help. Yes, both of you, being emotionally supportive to each other, that's great. But I think, it's all going to work out very nicely because he has grown to be a very good, strong man. So you can definitely count on him to help you out. Now, about the job, very quickly. So I got two wands card. You are the three of wands, and the job is the two of wands. So both of these are similarly probably like somewhat remote or distant. And maybe, if you start working there, you are just either working on your own schedule part-time or on different schedules where you don't have to devote a lot of your energy, hard work, difficult hours there. So there's probably a lot of, I am also getting that there are a lot of overtime hours that you can work, but in a very flexible way that you would like. And possibly it's not the only job that you will need. So, or that you would like to have, however it comes to, I think that it's a very flexible job. It will make you feel okay. And there's not a lot of pressure to add on to your depression or the diabetes. So that's what I see.
That is great. It's very, just to give you a little confirmation, one of the big changes will be going from 12-hour night shift, which is so hard on my body, to 12-hour day shift. So that's one thing about the whole idea of feeling like I have more energy and that kind of thing. And also the idea of, I'm now trying to remember what you said that really triggered this for me, but I'll be doing travel nursing is essentially what it is. So I never get to tire or too like involved with the politics and to wear my, like I've been for several years in the place that I'm at, and it's to the point where all the politics have me overwhelmed to where I am bringing my job home, which I've never really done. And part of the 3-month thing that has been I did traveling years ago and it was so helpful. It was every 3 months, I'm moving on. Unless I love it, I can stay 6 months or 8 months or whatever. And then I move on. And then I can do my job. I can be with my patients. I can be of use. I don't get wrapped up in all the other gunk. And then I move on. So thank you very much. That really hit home with me, and very astute of you, some of what you brought up.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Great. And we've got,
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
thank you, Audrey. All right, and then we've got Kendara, Jenna, and Anne. Go ahead, Kendara.
I'm unmuting. So the thing that's coming out for me more is your son than anything else. And the first thing that I'm getting is the 3 of Wands, and you're getting help, you're getting strength, you're getting support. It feels really good. The next card that I'm getting for you is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which means you're not going to have to work as hard as you have. You're right where you need to be. It's going to allow you to chill, and that'll help your depression a lot because you feel overwhelmed. You're absolutely welcome. Then what I get is the 6 of Wands, and it looks like they're arguing, but no, they're supporting each other. Your ship's coming in. You're being supported in all that you do. And last but not least, kind of Wands, except for the Pentacle, you got the King of Wands right side up. So support in all areas. So good. Nice. Everything's gonna work out for you. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thanks, Kendara. Jenna is next.
This is a really quick message, just that when you were talking about the politics at work, I felt this immediate thing of like, she needs empathic. You need energetic clearing. You're an empath. You've got to take care of yourself. And so I'm just going to share really quick in the chat a YouTube video that's about how to energetically clear yourself with a semi-Qigong related technique. I teach Qigong as well. So I just wanted to say, like, please clear yourself every day in the morning and evening. Begin doing that practice as part of your healthcare.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, I've done a little bit of that before, but never consistently. So yeah, I'd love to see that YouTube.
Yeah, and just find anybody else. Just do all the energetic healthcare you can find.
Right on. Thank you.
Great, and then Anne, something.
Okay, so I got 3 cards for you, DB. The first is the Knight of Rods. And before I go into that, I just want to echo what Jenna said, that energy work is a great way to initiate recovering from depression. You know, it's the first hermetic principle that everything begins in the mind. So if you set the intention to relieve yourself from depression, you will do it. It's just a matter of following through and coming back to that intention and working with the public. Yes, do it. But then, so to get back to my reading, the Knight of Rods is the first card that pulled up. And to me, this represents your past and taking action according to your passions and your beliefs and your needs. And I feel like this represents your son to a certain degree, that he was disconnected from you, because this was facing away from the other cards. And I don't always read that, but I feel like this represents the past when you were separated spiritually during his addiction, and maybe during your depression as well, representing a spiritual separation or a movement apart.
Yeah, we were back and forth with him as a child. And so a lot of what he's brought to me is that sort of sense of abandonment that I feel he's still working through, and that I've come to accept more. But, you know, at times I feel like I had, you know, that absence probably had a lot to do with the beginnings of his addiction. So there was a lot of guilt and shame around that I feel like I've kind of worked through. But yeah, I can totally see where that has happened. And we were together and initially when he got into sobriety, and I was with him for like 2 or 3 years of getting that to a stable point. And then the rest of the family was out of state, and so he decided to go back to be closer to them. And he was doing just terrific out there, and something happened. So
Okay, well, it's nice that what I have now for your present is the 2 of Cups. And to me, that represents a love connection between you and your son, and that you're going to be able to have a reunion and a time when you see each other as equals. I forget who else said this, but it's not about you helping him, but maybe more about him helping you. And that's something really auspicious in my mind. And I welcome you to welcome that, but also take care of yourself. You know, this relationship will only be as good as your relationship with yourself, as with all your relationships.
Yeah.
And really to prioritize your own health, your own mental health, and your own physical health, I think will really enable this relationship with your son to be as good as it can be, not to mention the benefits that you will experience in your own life and your own work. And then what I see next is the 3 of Swords. So this card traditionally is often called the heartbreak card. I really don't buy into that so much on a literal level, but I do feel like this is an expression of you at work, and that you really have the upper hand as a worker. And that there may be some situations where you have the advantage because your skills are highly valued and you are very much in demand now. And it's your experience that is your currency, with being able to choose your work with an advantage. And I always associate the 3s with the Empress, which really is an expression of being divine. So this represents your knowledge and your experience having a divine quality within your work environment. Not to mention the rest of your life. You know, your life experience is highly valuable. But I welcome you to see yourself as a highly valuable and a free agent within your work. And I welcome you to really approach your work with the question of what do I want to do? Where do I want to be? And how do I want to do it? And
that's interesting. If I can just say to you that I have toyed with, I did 7 or 8 years of newborn ICU nursing, which is, you know, highly in a way, it's a lot more of my technical nursing skills than what I'm doing now. And there has been just a pull kind of again and again, as much as I enjoy psych nursing, but to go back to doing neonatal nursing. And then again, part of me has been like, that 50 something thing where I can't remember. I can get into a room, I can't find things, or I can't remember halfway through a sentence. There's some word. And so I start getting worried that my mind is not in a spot where I could do something so technical again. Mm-hmm. And so that idea of having agency and around my experience, the idea of doing a bit of both in those different areas of nursing sounds like it might be great, but then there's a lot of hesitance too, just because of my age. So. Mm-hmm.
Well, I would really encourage you to address your depression as something that you can heal and that you are healing, and that is completely within your power to heal, and that it's not your fault, and really to acknowledge that there is no reason to feel guilty about it, although the temptation may be very strong and it may feel debilitating. The guilt, I welcome you to really look at that as a priority, and doing the energy work will definitely help. And then ask yourself, am I capable of returning to the ICU or whatever job seems best for you?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I don't know if you noticed, like, I didn't even have the right question when I began to question you guys. Like, I totally was like, oh, depression. Oh yeah. And meanwhile, I'm sitting here like I've been unable to move for the longest time, but it's funny how far I can go into denying that. So I really appreciate you putting that out there, because okay, well, yeah, let's start at square one. This is something important to look at before I look at the other things, not put the cart before the horse. Mm-hmm. So thank you. Oh, this is just an awesome experience.
You're
thank
welcome.
you so much, guys.
Thank
you.
Great.
So glad. All right. And then Henry's got a little bit more. Go ahead, Henry.
Okay, so what I got right from the beginning was I got right away the Hanged Man. So it's in the Gaian Tarot, it's the tree, which I like that a lot better. And the way I understand this card is this gestation. And then I right away, when I was thinking about your son, or when you were talking about your son, I got the Builder, which is the Emperor in a regular deck, in a Waite-Smith deck. And so the sense I got was empower your son by giving him something to do. So I thought maybe that's about helping you move. But then I really got this gestation time. I see the tree as gestating something, which is kind of really funny, because you're mentioning this neonatal unit.
Yeah.
Right. So there might be another connection there that I just wasn't privy to. And then I also got the Two of Air, which in the Waite-Smith deck is the Two of Swords. And so I got yet again, that I actually got the sense I got was brakes. Put on the brakes. Not out of fear, not because there's a problem that you can't deal with, but to get like a calm place, and to get a grounded place, creating a calm and grounded place for your son, that he can become, empowered again. The Emperor card is a really strong card for your son, like surprisingly strong. And I think it has to do with him being with you, that empowers him. So, okay. So for you to see his greatness, see his strength, and you already can do that. And I think that's what you did the last time to help him. And then finally, I got the Elder of Fire, which is the King of Wands. And so that's when I got this card. Look, just look at this wonderful card. Let me just take a moment. The Elder of Fire. This is a powerful person, and I see you being that person. That's somebody who's in action, who's passionate, who is powerful, who's decisive, who is energetic, who is healthy. And so I felt like when you put yourself back into a place of some gestation, some listening for, see, like quite literally what this card is depicting, listening for your inner guidance or the divine guidance or God's guidance, depending on how that is for you, that then that would create the space for this archetype to come out.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that can be you. And I kept getting the entire time, I kept getting the not to travel and be in this up in the air kind of, like I totally hear you about the politics. I work for myself. I've always worked for myself. I am just in awe of people who can deal with workplace politics. I'm just like, I'm stuttering even saying it's so like, wow, like my hat is off to you. And I feel that so I totally understand that you want to get away from that, but because this archetype is such a powerful being, I felt, and then you also said that, you can name your gig because your role is so in high demand. Then I got totally that that's what you should be doing. And then you mentioned the neonatal unit, and then you mentioned memory, and I had memory issues my entire life. And when I started taking NAC, which is a supplement that my naturopath recommended, it gave me my memory back. Like actually gave me a memory I never had. And I'm 64 and I'm kicking. Right? You would know what I just said, right? So you're a youngin' compared to me, right? So don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated. And I feel like if you create, like, do what you love most, because when you have depression, do what you love most. Speak your truth. I had 2 years of depression after the United States invaded Iraq the first time, and I just completely changed my life I stopped putting on a nice face. Started telling the truth. It was incredibly healing. There's different things that heal different people for different reasons. I get.
Yeah.
But I just feel this strongly that you can be this. This card didn't come by accident. None of these cards tonight came by accident. So you can be this powerful presence. Just allow it.
Nice. That's interesting. I'm a Leo, the whole fire sign. I don't know, that kind of adds into that. I don't know why that came up, but and then the idea of putting the brakes on, it does feel like at least allowing myself to, as weird as this sounds, getting grounded has I need to move in order to get grounded. I mean, not necessarily move across country, but get up and start packing my space is a part of getting grounded for me, because I'm sitting so much that I'm kind of paralyzed. So coming out of that to me feels more grounding. So I see where you're headed, but it's like doing things in a more centered way. Like I'm not just putting the brakes on and not moving at all. So that's kind of what I took from what you said. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
this is awesome.
Thank you so much. Deeply appreciate you leaping in and asking a question tonight. We have some practitioners that need to leave, so let's go ahead and give them a chance to close out. And then we've got a couple more questions. If everyone can stay long enough, we will see. The last person in line knows we might not make it. All right, so I know Jenna, and then who else? Is anyone else has to go? Jenna, go ahead and share all of your contact info and your special and how people can find you, etc.
So thank you so much, Laureli, for having us here tonight and for being our star manager of it all. And thank you all for being here tonight. So my name is Jenna Lynne Roberts. I'm with Present Path Tarot. I've been reading cards professionally since 2008 and since I was 15 years old, which I won't say how long that was. I'm also a teacher by trade, and that means my class is a solid dose of 9 hours of an hour and a half each evening, Tuesdays and Thursdays for 3 weeks of full information, how to learn the cards. I have multiple people who've taken the class twice because it's so enriching. We do a lot of learning and practicing, and that's happening October 19th until November 4th. And we already have 10 people signed up, so get your spot today at presentpathtarot.com/classes. I also have a special for all of you tonight during Mercury retrograde, 10% off with the code retro2021, and that is off my readings, not off the class. If you do want to join the class with a friend, I have a 2 for special. You can just email me and I'll give it to you, but it's 2 for class, 2 FOR class, and you both get 10% off if you mention each other in the final thing. So thanks for being here tonight, and come get a reading during your Mercury retrograde to get clarity during this time of reflection. And thank you all for being here, and I hope I can read for you all in person sometime. Woo!
All right, hello, Taylor. Thank you so much, Jenna, for being here.
That was a great woo to my little speech.
Thanks so much, Jenna, for being part of the event. And I know Kendara has to go too. Jenna's information is all in the chat. And then Kendara is going to share too, and her information is there as well. Thanks, Jenna. And go ahead, Kendara.
I'm unmuting. So I'm Kendara, and I'm in Denver, and I love tarot and I Ching and intuitive readings. I'm offering a special of $1 a minute right now, and I can be reached at my website, kendaralaurel.com. And I also have an introduction to metaphysics meetup, which invites people to come in and speak. And I love nothing more than coaching people and helping them remove blocks so that they can become empowered and manifest what they want. And Laurel, thank you. This has been great. And everybody here is so wonderful. I loved working with all of you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kendara. Lovely to have you again.
Thank you.
And I put also information in the chat in case anyone else watching has to leave now. We've got a drawing. We have a feedback form if you'd like to share feedback and give us your contact info. We'll put you in a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice for the people on the panel. We also have another tarot panel coming up on December 1 because this is popular, so we got more. All right, let's see. So we've got 2 more questions if we have time. I'll fit those in. We have Jasmine and then Verna. So Jasmine, did you want to come up on? It's up to you if you want to come up on stage. And by the way, Jasmine, make sure you can hear me when I share. See if you are still here. You are still here. Jasmine, are you ready? I'm asking you to unmute. Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
We can. Did you want to show your video? It's up to you. It's totally optional. Then come on Spotlight.
I look a little rough, but maybe.
It's up to you. It's totally up to you. It's recorded and all that. It's just totally up to you. Let me see. Oh, yeah. By the way, I wanted to share, we have been inviting you to be on our training panels, but we realized today, finally, we had a typo in your email address. You have not been getting our emails.
I haven't. I've been wondering what's been happening.
So that's what's been happening. We finally have an email address now. We have another one coming up, I think on the 23rd, October 23rd, if you're free. So we will get you all the information now.
Okay, good.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So Jasmine's a practitioner to everyone. All right, Jasmine, what is your question?
Okay, sorry, it's so dark in here. I just had a question. I don't know, I've been feeling a little off lately. And I was wondering if I had any blockages and also what I need to do next to kind of be more aligned with myself. Any gifts that I'm not kind of being receptive to. I just want to open myself up more.
I appreciate the clarity and simplicity of your question.
Thank you.
And I can't remember the details, but I just remember like feeling so great about you sharing at our, it must have been one of the practice circles, and we're like, oh, come on our training panel. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
All right, Sue is ready. Go ahead, Sue. Wait, let's get you unmuted first.
Sorry about that. You mean you all don't lip read? Okay, anyhow, Jasmine, you have been working on a whole new beginning, a whole new phase of your life. This is the sun. Again, we've had this come up a couple times tonight, and it's going into the next phase, knowing, but being open and being available. All right, where you are right now, it says this is 6 of Swords. You're trying to be of service and healing in a conflict situation. All right. And what they're saying to you is, whatever you do, do not bear down on the points of conflict, because you will sink the boat.
Okay.
All right. So you
Yes.
do not refer to it as a problem. You just say it's being taken care of. Everything's fine. Now you're trying to move the boat from the rough water into the smooth. Once you get to the opposite shore, if you want to have a knockdown, drag out fight, you go right ahead. But for right now, keep it light.
Keep it light.
Keep
Okay.
it light. Okay.
That's actually really important, because I too suffer from severe anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I have to keep in
it
mind.
light. A wonderful affirmation. Things seem to always work out for me.
And you know what's funny? I've been realizing the past couple of weeks is everything will be okay.
Yeah, everything will
That
be
is
okay.
a message I've been getting from my body, that everything
All right.
will be just fine.
All right. And this
Thank you.
one is the 7 of Pentacles, which is the nostalgic gardener, which says you have a tendency to focus on the past and
That's
to
a good
sometimes
expression.
get
Yes, ma'am.
excessively nostalgic about the good old days whenever they were. All right.
I
That
know
was
exactly
then,
what you're
this is
talking
now.
about.
Please understand, whatever you did back then to get this to grow so beautifully, you are more than capable of doing with the issue that is at your feet right now. So you are being told, be here now. That was then, this is now. Okay.
Yes, I
Right.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, good.
Absolutely.
Because this one used to drive me nuts. The summary card was the 4 of Cups, which means that you're either ignoring or you're not aware of an opportunity. I used to hate when that came up. That is so frustrating. It's like, could you give me a hint?
That's me right now. Yes.
Right. Like, could you tell me maybe what it's about?
Like, what's the first letter?
Yeah, right. We'll play 20 questions, right? Yeah. But the trick is to just say, okay, what is it about what's going on right now that I'm not picking up? And then listen for the answer. Okay. What is it that's going on now? What could be the lesson or the message or the guidance or whatever you want to call it? All right. Mm-hmm. In other words, once upon a time, many, many years ago, I used to attract very angry men in my life. And I didn't understand it. I mean, my father was one of them, but I had to learn how to handle anger. And that was the lesson. And finally, like, the light bulb went on. I went, oh, that makes sense. Okay. Once I did that, once I realized that's what it was, they stopped coming. Yeah, they stopped coming. I found some really nice people. Anyhow, so when you say, okay, what's going on that I'm not picking up on, and what is it here to teach me? And I wish you luck. Does that help? I hope.
It does. And I actually have a question. What if you kind of dinked around with what you thought the lesson might be, and you were just totally unhappy with it and just throwing a fit about it? Because,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a method where you can get yes, no answers? In other words, do you use a pendulum? Do you use kinesiology? Do you use anything that will give you yes, no?
Yeah, I use a pendulum.
Okay, divvy up your life into quadrants and say, where is this? Where is this located?
I have a feeling that it's within my relationship.
Yeah, I'm getting a yes on that.
Yeah, because I feel like the lesson that's needing to be taught here is that complacency is okay. And I'm safe.
Well,
So
and the first question when somebody says you're ignoring an opportunity, the first question I always ask is, well, do I want to do something or do I want to do nothing? That's a choice. It's
yes.
a legitimate choice. And sometimes it's okay to do nothing.
Yeah, and not feel guilty about it.
That's right. Well, and I believe that guilt is anger that you don't feel entitled to express, but that's just me.
I'm very emotional. I'm a water sign, so.
Yeah. So it's
Thank
like,
you.
yeah, it really pisses me off, but I really can't say that because it wouldn't be appropriate.
That's awesome. You're so helpful. I love the way you
Thank
read. That's beautiful. Thank you, Sue.
Okay, thanks so much, Sue. All right, let's see. We've got Audrey and Anne also. Go ahead, Audrey.
Okay, yeah, thank you. All right, so I love your name because the spelling is so unique.
Thank you, Audrey.
Yeah, so you have ZZ and Y, they're all lower dip.
Yeah.
You have a lot of that inner world access. So much more than a lot of people. It's like anytime you can just go within, you can be a terrific intuitive person, psychic person. That's always your your spare, right? Whatever you do,
yeah.
If this is not working, then I can always go back to myself.
Yeah, that's kind of the route I've been going. I've been exploring different things, and if they don't work out, then they just don't work out. I revert back to what I know and what I'm comfortable with.
Okay, so today I drew 3 cards for you, and they're all major arcana cards. So they are the part of the Celtic cross that's upside, from the inside to the present to above. So, and Spirit Guide says that the one in the middle is the Tower card. And so the Tower card tells you right now that you can take a chance, or maybe to kind of scramble, stir the pot a little, or to do something different. Even if you're afraid, like, oh, what if it doesn't, what if it's not good for me? What if, whatever. So this is a time for you to probably make a little different kind of a plan, especially when it comes to either relationships or work, career, or just a few of the important things in life. You can try to look at the different options just to see, what else I can do. Now, what's below is the Sun card. Okay, so that tells me that deep down inside, you really want things to be very simple, want to work out. You want to be able to look at people in the most simplistic way to say, oh, I don't want to believe that he will cheat me, or that he will, the boss will take advantage of me, or anything. You just want the life to be beautiful. You want the world to be beautiful.
Yeah, that's actually, that's always been how I thought. And some people would call it being naive, but that's exactly how everything was and still is.
Yeah, and it's okay. After all, the bad people will fall off, right? they fall off the Teflon. And then you continue to be yourself, the beautiful true self. And the star is what you're projecting outward. And also a lot of people who matters, they will, whoever that matters to you, they will see you in the star card. So, what that means is that they will see you as somebody who is hopeful, who wants to see your life work out the way that you projected to work out. So, I have to say that the messages coming from the Spirit Guide today is to tell you to be true to yourself. And all of that depression, or temporary setbacks, and somewhat of a small hurdles, they're okay. We all go through them. So just work through them. Yeah.
Thank you so much. The depression and not feeling guilty about that is huge for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you, Audrey.
You're welcome.
Audrey and Anne is next.
Yeah, hi, thanks. Okay, so Jasmine, I pulled 3 cards for you, and they are the Magician, the Empress, and the 5 of Swords. So to start out, the Emperor, or I'm sorry, the Magician is expressing for you that you have figured out how to do things in the past. You figured out how to be great. You figured out how to utilize your skills in an environment that was unfamiliar to you. And this is a reminder that you've done it before and you can do it again. That you are resourceful, that you are intuitive, and that you will figure it out by connecting with your higher self and by remaining grounded. You already know this, it's just a reminder. Then the Empress came up overturned. So this expresses to me that you are currently doubting your divinity. You are doubting the fact that you are a goddess, and you are doubting the fact that you are a creator that is connected with the heavens. So just a reminder, you are all those things, and you can cultivate whatever it is you want in this life by deciding that that's what you're gonna do. So I welcome you to do that.
Yes, the self-doubt is very strong within me. It was stronger before. I've been working on it for the past year and it's gotten a little better, but there are still times where I'm like, oh, what if I'm wrong? What if this isn't, isn't right? But I also feel like it's not my job to prove anything to anybody.
No, it's not. And you are already proving that you are great. And it's just a matter of deciding to believe it. The next card I pulled is the 5 of Swords, which is all about choosing your beliefs. So I feel like the thing for you to do right now is to really get grounded in your body. I mean, we've said this so many times tonight, but practice your grounding, your clearing, letting go of the bullshit. Excuse my language, but
no. I'm young. I got it.
Recognizing the thoughts that are attacking you and letting them go. This is a midpoint. We can associate number 5 with the Hierophant, where we connect with the divine and we choose what to do with it. So this represents connecting with the divine in your mind, within the mental plane, and choosing what to do with it. In other words, choosing your beliefs. And I put a link in the chat to a brief tapping exercise for anxiety.
Yeah, the EFT, I do practice that. Absolutely.
I welcome you to really go deep with that right now, especially to help you release anxiety and recognize your own greatness. Because I feel like that's the key. That's like the important sort of centering place for you, is to just be connected with the Empress within yourself. Sometimes that may manifest as an Emperor, meaning you're more in an active role than a passive role, but there is nothing wrong with being in a passive role. It's our culture that vilifies the role of being at rest and actually getting enough rest and being peaceful. We overvalue being productive and doing and being in a more masculine state. So I welcome you to remember that your rest is your birthright, and that's where all of our great ideas come from a place of rest. So own that and be at peace, just by choosing to be at peace with yourself and within your body.
Beautiful.
So there you go.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, Henry, go ahead.
So that was such a beautiful reading. Wow.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, it's almost like, well, mind reading is so different that maybe it could be a supplement, because it was very thorough. Like I really got it when Anne was talking about you just questioning your divinity and, and all that entails. Whew, I could really feel that.
Yeah,
So
the anxiety plays a huge role in that too.
Yeah. I feel that my reading is quite a bit more narrow. It's not more, but it is narrower. Getting my English grammar here. It's narrower and maybe more practical. So there could be an enhancement. So I got the Elder of Water. Then I got the Elder of Fire. Then I got the Six of Fire. And I got the Guardian of Water, and I got the Six of Water.
Beautiful.
The nice thing is you'll be able to look back at these cards once the recording is up. So the hits that I got with these cards, I'm going to read it. I made some notes. I'm just going to read it. You said that you were feeling off. And the sense I got was that the feeling off is that the Elder of Fire and of Water are not well balanced. The King of Swords and of Wands. That so like no, not wands, cups. So that head and heart is not balanced.
Always. It's
right?
always in balance.
Yeah.
I'm always fighting myself. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think your head is too powerful.
I definitely give my mental way too much power.
Yeah, exactly. And why I think that was because of the Six of Water. So then I felt like you need, like, it's connected with the Lovers in the Major Arcana. So I felt like you need to do a lot more with actions that have to do with the heart.
Yes.
And to see, like, when you're in your head, it's because you're holding on to something from your past. So the thing to do there is to recognize that. And you're a wise person. I mean, everybody has profound wisdom, but you're a wise person. And when you start thinking about all your evidence, the operative word being thinking, when you're starting to think or ruminate and all of that, then the thing to do is to go into your heart. So you can say, what am I feeling right now? And you can like hug yourself and be loving with yourself when you say that, so that it's safe to just be with that feeling and like meet yourself with love rather than judgment or analysis.
Analysis,
yes. Right? Because the analysis is how you're keeping a distance from the feeling. And the thing is, the feeling is just going to keep coming back around and smacking you yet again until you be with. And especially applying love as you be with. Like that's generosity, that's compassion, self-compassion, generosity with self, and also generosity with the people who saddled you. You know? So like so generosity, forgiveness, compassion, first for yourself, always first for yourself. You put that mask on first on yourself before you put it on others, you know, like when you're in an airplane. So that's what I'm seeing here. And so the gifts that you need to be receptive to is the Guardian of Water, which is the Queen of Cups. That's like your big gift. That's what you're not receiving.
Okay.
Does that resonate at all?
It does. Can you elaborate a little bit more on what the Guardian of Cups would represent? Because I do know I'm incredibly intuitive. I, have healing hands by ancestry. I am very empathic, sometimes to a fault, but, I'm learning boundaries and stuff like that. But if you could elaborate a little bit more on what that would look like.
Yeah, it has to do with, for the sense I'm getting here, is that it has to do with how much value you place on that. So like, for example, if you're really good at making money, society puts a lot of value on that. And regardless of whether you believe in that or not, we're exposed. So being able to be a healer is like not as valuable.
It
in
really
ours,
isn't.
right? Hierarchically, not as valuable. So the archetypes that you relate to that are of the heart, what there's to do is to elevate them in terms of their validity and in terms of their importance and in terms of their greatness.
Perfect. I know exactly what that means.
Okay,
I
good.
always feel like, because I am, a stay-at-home mom, and my husband is the breadwinner. He makes more than I
There,
understand.
right there, give me a goosebump. Right there, right there, right there, right there. This is where you take your power back, right there. Because you're internalizing the values that, look, this world could not go around if it weren't for the people in female bodies who are staying home, or who are going for a full-time job and then doing all the work at home. And this is all extracted labor. Right? Some of the most important labor, if not the most, listen, it's way, way more important when you raise a child than if you raise the value of a stock.
Yeah, or a company. I absolutely agree. And it's so undervalued, and it kind of puts a damper on how I value myself and my position in family and in society.
And that's the work for you to do. That's the Queen of Cups, the Guardian of Power.
So put love first, act on love, know your value, because I am worth my weight in gold. Thank you, Henry.
Yes. And then get out of the past.
Oh, get out of the past. That's a big one. Yes. So do you have any suggestions as to when I am dwelling in the past, how to pull myself out of it?
Yeah. When you're dwelling in the past, meet it with love. So use this sentence. It's very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing. I love you.
Okay.
Because that person who's speaking right now, this thing, right? You can't shut it down. You can't diminish her. You can't invalidate her. You can't ignore her. It's like personify that as if this were like an inner twin. So when she talks about the past, say, I love you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. I get you. Would you be willing for us to create something new right now?
Oh, that's beautiful.
It empowers us.
I feel her smiling right here. That's wonderful. I will definitely use that. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Henry. And Anne's got a bit more to share too. Go ahead, Anne.
Yeah, just one little thing. Henry, when you said you pulled the Queen of Cups or the equivalent, I got this hit that that's an invitation for you, Jasmine, to feel your feelings and to enter your body through your heart. And that doing that will help you be present now. And the act of feeling your feelings will enable you to process and complete the emotional experience of the past that is nagging at you and contributing to your anxiety, because it's not allowing you to move on from it, or your brain is not allowing yourself to move on from it because you interrupted that feeling and stuffed it away, and it's coming back. And so I think that that quote that Henry shared also, it's really beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I love you. And that represents a moment where you can occupy your heart and just let the emotion do what it's here for, which is offer you the gift of awareness of what is inspiring your emotions, what's causing them, what's triggering them, and what is good, what are inspiring the good emotions, what are giving you the good feelings. So just the message is for me, just feel your feelings and occupy your heart.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Jasmine. I'm so glad we reconnected, and deeply appreciate it.
You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. I appreciate you staying late. I appreciate you guys hosting and being the practitioners. I love it.
We look forward to having you join us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, practitioners, we've reached the end. The last person is going to wait for another panel. So
Can I ask a quick question?
yeah.
Of not for me personally, but just around the videos. Where is this posted later?
Yeah, sure. I've got it posted in the chat. We have a YouTube channel where it gets posted. It's unfortunately taking me a little bit to get them posted because I have to go sit for hours while they're uploading.
Oh
So
gosh.
link in the chat.
I think, oh, I saw it and it went away, but yeah, I will find it in the
Right
chat.
there too. Yeah, so it's right there at the bottom of the chat.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sorry.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for asking. That's great. And there's
Thank you.
also in here, there's the information about filling out a feedback form if you'd like to do that to give us feedback on today. And if you give us your email address, we'll put you in a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. And then other listeners on the panel too will be able to reach out for everybody.
Awesome. Awesome. Yep, I have that and I will do that tonight.
Great. Thank you. All right, practitioners, go ahead. I will put your contact info in the chat again too as you share. Maybe if you want to go mix it all up, but like some Henry, Sue, Audrey, and Anne. Go ahead. Oh, and so go ahead, share again your name, all your modalities, and your contact info so people watching the video later can find you if they want to.
Good, that's great. Thank you for the instructions. I can always use it. Okay, so I am Henry India Holden, and I can be reached at henryindiaholden.com, and you can email me at henryhello.com. But if you go to my website, you can just contact me from there. I am a tarotist, which is the English term for tarot reader, and I love it. And I'm a spiritual director helping people connect with their divine self. And I'm a certified life coach, and I use all these modalities individually or severally. I specialize in helping people connect with their divine self or divine power and their purpose. And the two kind of arise from each other. When you connect with your divine true self, your purpose becomes clear immediately. And I do have a special, which is 33% off. So if you say that you were here at this panel tonight, then that's, the price you get. So it's $30 for 30 minutes and $50 for 50 minutes. And I have a class coming up starting this Saturday. It's 4 classes in a row, 4 Saturdays, 11 to 1. And it's about unfolding the divine mystery using the tarot and how you can use the tarot to help you with your divine purpose and to help you in daily guidance. And we also go into the history and the meaning of the cards. And we're going to be working off the deck that I'm developing myself. That's very inclusive and very inclusive. And the dates are October 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. And you can register by going to calendly.com/Henry India H.
Thank you so much, Henry. Sue, you're next.
Hi, my website is Tarot for All Time, which is the book that I authored. And my rates are there, which are already very low. And I am certified as a Mariel practitioner. I am certified as a Theta practitioner. I have done work with the Akashic Records. I have done work with, I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I've done so much stuff. So, and I bring a lot of each or everything that I have to try and help people get unstuck. And my goal is to be helpful and entertaining. If I can't be helpful, at least I can be entertaining. Okay. And I love being here, and I thank you so much for sponsoring this. And this was a hoot.
Great. I'm so glad to have you. And we have many more panels too. If you'd like to be on more, then great. All right. Audrey is next.
Thank you. So my name is Audrey. I can be found at audreyleemetaphysics.com. All my materials or my schedules and the fee structure, everything can be found over there. Now, I feel that my job is to learn the language. I'm here to educate people to learn about themselves. So I like to use many different modalities like astrology, numerology, tarot, destiny cards, or whatever else that I can find. So, usually I have these Monday night meetups, and they're like small classes. Of course, I have other meetups. They're listed under Metaphysical Haven meetup group. So I hope that all of you can come and visit me, join me. I had so much fun every time I talk to all of our, all of our friends. And then, of course, I love hearing from our readers too, like Henry and everybody, Susan and Laurel. So anyway, thank you so much. I had a great time. I hope you were able to learn something tonight.
Thanks so much, Audrey. And I'm going to spell, just in case people are watching the video and don't know how to spell, your website, Audrey Lee Metaphysics, is AudreyLeemetaphysics.com. All right, great. Anne.
Okay, well, I agree. This has been so much fun, and I'm so excited to do more of these. My name is Anne Heideman. I've been reading cards since 1999. I have a website called priestessbling.com. You can email me or message me there, or email me priestessbling@gmail.com or heideman.ann@gmail.com. Yeah, I've been doing lots of readings. These days, I'm doing readings Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays via Zoom or FaceTime, usually, or I can do Facebook Messenger or by appointment. So get in touch. And I'm doing 11% off if you book tonight. So thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Anne. And we've got lots more events coming up at MeWe Fairs, MeWe events. We've got this Wednesday, October 6th at 6 p.m. We have Medical Intuition for People and Animals. On Thursday, October 14, we have Metaphysics and Intuition Learning Circle, where several practitioners offer exercises for opening and expanding your intuition. Thursday, October 21, we have a panel on love, soulmates, and twin flames. That's October 21 at 6 p.m. And then Saturday, October 23 from 5 to 7 p.m., we have another training panel. So this is where practitioners that are newly sharing their gifts, newly sharing on stage or sharing a new modality, get support from a couple other practitioners to get ready for a panel, share on the panel, and get supported afterwards to celebrate their success and integrate their learnings. And it's a great opportunity. It's half price to ask a question of the panel. It's already great value and super great value for that. So if someone wants to be on that training panel as a practitioner in training, let me know. And excited to do that again. We had a great one just the other day. And we have in-person fairs coming up in Portland and the Seattle area, November and December. We're excited to be doing those with you and see you in person again. Find ways to be safe together in person. And we'll keep doing things online. This has been really great doing panels online during the pandemic. We've been doing fairs for 2.5 years. And gosh, it's been 2.5 years already. And we're going to keep doing those too. All right, great. All right, well, thank you so much, everyone. And practitioners, you can hang out with us for a little bit. I'm going to turn off the recording. Oh, and all of our events are at mewefairs.com, MEWEFAIRS.com.